Good evening, grappling fans, and welcome to Breakthrough Grappling Series number 12. Tonight's event features matches in the women's superweight division, the men's heavyweight division, 3 Breakthrough Grappling Series title fights, and of course, Breakthrough Grappling Series super fights. Breakthrough Grappling Series 12 is brought to you by East Coast Fight Store, Bowden Contracting, Jack Cameron The Way Home, Paisanos Express, Durable Grappler, and Finesse Brand Athletics. If you're going to roll, roll with finesse. And now, please welcome our first competitors of the evening. Fighting in the Breakthrough Grappling Future Phenom Series out of Halifax Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Society in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Gilbert Henniger. His opponent, representing Breakthrough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Amherst, Nova Scotia, Caleb Nichol. And please welcome our referee, who will now assume control of the mats.
All right, folks at home, we are live here at the Breakthrough Grappling Series 12. Alex, I'm so happy to be back with you. And just as always, I almost have butterflies in my stomach ready for this match and ready for this card.
Man, they jumped right into it. Hello, folks. Welcome to another Breakthrough Grappling Series event here. They jumped right into it.
You know, look at the confidence in these two youth athletes. I say it every event, but I'm always so shocked at how high level these kids in the Maritimes are getting. Like you just saw one of our athletes here with a very confident Imanari roll, looking for what he's looking for, looks determined, trying to get into the legs.
Yeah, you're starting to see this more dynamic game from these kids at that age, right? And I know they can't necessarily attack the feet, but they're willing to get into the entanglements for the sweeps, for the positional control.
You know, and it's so interesting because if you think about these two youth athletes, they're 14, 15 years old. What does this look like when they're 25 if they're already this advanced?
Yeah, it's going to be scary, dude. Scary.
Because you've already seen, at least from Caleb Nichol's side, he goes into the legs, gets the sweep, comes up on top, and is now playing a very tight half guard, passing very effectively.
Yeah, he's already got that knee through. He's already got the quarter mount. See if he gets that foot free. Oh, jumping on the neck.
You know, I've had the pleasure of training with both these, and we get a triangle. Wow, look at that, folks.
He jumped on that.
And he gets the tap. A highlight reel finish from a youth athlete. Wow.
Great, Matt.
And we'll turn it over to Jeremy.
Your winner by triangle, Caleb Nichol. Tonight's next matchup is our first Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. Fighting out of Icon Combat in Moncton, New Brunswick, please welcome Colin the Ronin White. And competing out of Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, Tyler Rayfuse.
You know, it's going to be hard to follow those two youth athletes, Alex, but I know if there's anyone who can do it, it is these two athletes, both veterans of the BGS, both aggressive, both looking for wins. I'm excited, and I know you got a lot of experience with one of them.
Yeah, it's hard to be unbiased here and not cheer for Tyler a little bit. He's been really aggressive lately, training a lot, really well. Very impressive with him.
You see, you've already seen these guys look to not just accept position. That's what's interesting about these guys. They're always looking for guards if they're on bottom. They're always looking to pass. They're always looking for some sort of submission. You see Tyler jump a guillotine.
Yeah, trying to jump on the neck there. Ooh, Tyler's fishing for it. I don't know if he's going to be able to grab it, though.
Yeah, it looks like Colin was able to kind of get over that top leg. And, you know, if I'm Colin here, I know I just talked about how high-paced they are, but maybe just kind of cook that out.
Tyler trying to get a butterfly hook to lift him up some. Trying to retain his guard a little bit here. Colin's got the grip on the head, though. There we go. Back to close guard.
You know, what I've seen from Tyler is that he's always comfortable in his guard. So if you're on top and he has those butterfly hooks in, and you think that you're going to start to pass, he is so good at just retaining that guard. You're never as far past the guard as you think you are with him.
No, and he's incredibly active, too. That's one of the things we've noticed at a training with him a lot, is that he keeps a very consistent pace, whether he's on the bottom or the top. He's always looking for, as you can see there, jumped up, jumped on the head. Colin's got the butterfly hook, though.
You know, he's doing a really good job addressing Colin's size, because Colin is quite a bit larger, and at this weight class, Colin is so rangy. Yeah. He's so long, and he can make a lot of problems for an athlete who might be shorter than him, like Tyler is. But Tyler's doing a good job neutralizing that.
Yeah, just trying to stay tight right now, playing a smart game. Ooh, getting that high rubber guard there.
Yeah, we've seen Colin do well with this before. If he can isolate an arm out there and he can get that rubber guard, he does have dangerous triangles.
Yeah. Doing a good job of keeping that guard closed right now. He's got a tight grip on the ankles. Looking for an arm drag. Wasn't quite there. He's got a grip on that far lat, though. Doesn't have the elbow across the body, so a little futile, but maybe he's looking for... Oh, he's got a good angle there. Maybe searching for a Kimura. Couldn't quite reach over the shoulder.
You know, it must be so annoying to be in Colin's guard. Colin does such a good job of constantly pulling you in knees to chest, making it annoying for you. You can never really just take a second to establish what you're going to do with him. Like, oh, looking for a nice sweep here. Almost.
Great job with that leg hook. Now he's looking to attack that arm. Oh, might transition to the back here.
Oh, and he has a top lock for the triangle. He's locked it up, and he gets the tap. And we'll turn it back over to Jeremy.
Your winner by triangle, Colin the Rodent White. Tonight's next matchup will be contested in the men's 145-pound division and is another Breakthrough Grappling Series super fight. First, representing Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, please welcome Dominic Latour. His opponent, fighting out of Breakthrough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Amherst, Nova Scotia, Wes Robinson.
All right, 2 matches, 2 fast finishes. And for the folks at home, we are not going to be able to be unbiased here. This is one of Alex's athletes and one of my former training partners. So we'll just take the facade away and we'll commentate unbiased.
Do what we can here.
Already some good grappling. Both these guys have good wrestling ability, so we'll see where they can go with that.
Nice overhook, man. Both of them coming out very aggressive to start.
You know, Dominic being a training partner of his brother, who's a very high-level wrestler in New Brunswick High School, and as far as the national level is concerned, you got to assume he's going to take that into this match.
Yeah. One of the biggest things we work on a lot of is the head control, right? Trying to get better at that, keeping your head up, not getting caught in those snap downs, and it creates a good, strong wrestling base. But as you can see here, Wes is no slouch in terms of getting good control on the inside.
Well, Wes trains at a Breakthrough, and Breakthrough is known for the wrestling, right? Yes. And I've worked with Wes personally a lot on wrestling. We came up in the gym together. We were white belts, blue belts together. And I can tell you that his wrestling ability is a very underrated part of his game.
Both similar in size, too, which is good. Dom's had some matches where I feel maybe not, almost undersized, but
Oh, nice wrap on the head here for Wes. Let's see if he can get. Oh, and Dominic pulls out of it.
one of the dangers, right? Trying to drop in for those shots is not giving up your neck.
Yeah, and both athletes have done a good job at kind of setting up the takedown, but neither have been able to finish. And I think whoever gets their opponent to the ground first is going to have a massive advantage in this match.
Yeah. Good grip.
Oh,
there.
and
Nice.
Wes with the body lock
Nice
takedown.
body lock.
Wes is quite
Right into
strong
the
for
mat.
his weight division, so let's see where this goes.
Going to be looking to peel those elbows up on Dom right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fishing for it on the left side there. He's framing on the bicep, doing a good job of staying tight in the hips too, trying to keep Dom flat.
Yeah, and if you're Wes right now, you don't want to give him another chance on the feet. You want to keep him down flat. But, you know, Dominic's doing the right things here. He just needs to get his frames back inside.
Yeah, elbows are a little bit separated right now, and that's where the trouble's going to start for him if he can't get his arms in.
And Wes looking for the head and arm triangle right now.
Yeah, Dom's doing what he has to. He's got a hand down on the hip, but to get that other arm back into play, he's going to need that.
Yeah, and Wes is doing a good job at retaining the mount. He's not giving it up, looking for a submission too much. Kind of has this Americana wrap. Let's see where he goes with the shoulder lock. Oh, and what might have been a mistake from Wes chasing that submission.
Man, he went for it though. He saw it there, and he saw the opportunity, and he took it.
Yep, so now this is a good chance to play from your guard, okay? For Dominic, points aren't in effect, so he really is no further behind on the scorecard, but did that take cardio away from him?
Dom's got quite a bit of cardio. I think that they work hard, especially these smaller guys. I feel like they have a battery that can just go forever.
Yeah, as someone who's in the high calorie brackets, you training with lighter weight class people gets so frustrating so quick.
Beyond frustrating, yeah. And I'll be surprised if we see a little bit of slowing down from these guys. I imagine the pace will remain the same. It's just a matter of whether West wants to keep his guard open or whether he wants to keep it closed, right? Oh, Dom jumps on an ankle right away.
Yep, West needs to put the boot on and start defending here. Turning belly down. We'll see where it goes. And
Oh, that looks tight.
West needs to be able to clear that foot. And, you know, kind of eating this ankle lock right now shows his toughness. Oh,
Wow,
do
there
a
you
heel
go.
hook finish.
Heel hook finish. Great job by Dom.
Great job in the legs from these two lightweights.
Yeah, West did a good job of defending there at the start. That was nice.
Looks like there was an injury on the mat, but hopefully he can walk it off, turning it back to Jeremy.
Winner by heel hook, Dominic Fortner. Tonight's next matchup will be contested in the men's 220-pound division. First, representing Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, please welcome Corbin Levi. And fighting out of Citadel in Quebec City, Quebec, please welcome Jean-Sébastien Dion.
All right, the start of our 220-pound bracket.
Oh, I'm excited for this one.
All right, the winner of this bracket is guaranteed a title shot for the vacant 220-pound belt.
Jean-Sébastien, recent gold medal winner at the ADCC in Vancouver. He is an uphill battle for anyone to go against.
He's so physically strong. I mean, I don't know how he makes 220 pounds. You know, his pedigree is so high, and when you look at him in this bracket, Corbin has an uphill battle, but he's doing the right things, playing a good guard here.
Yeah, let's see if he can maintain it. Jean-Sébastien, great at pressure passing, great at getting weight on guys.
You know, for those of you at home who aren't who aren't familiar with Jean-Sébastien, he's a former title challenger. He dropped a match to Rory Gillis in one of the most tightly contested matches we've seen here on the BGS. Rory would go on to vacate his title after that. So Jean-Sébastien is hungry for that title shot again. And, you know, there's not much he hasn't won. He's a Masters World no-gi champion. He's won multiple ADCC Opens. So this is just another day for him looking for a title.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of keeping his head on that far side right now and staying sticky on top of Corbin.
You know, Corbin has a lot of experience, though. So, I mean, we're going to see where it goes. He's very, very active on the regional scene.
Yeah, he's active and he's used to being in bad. Like we train out of bad positions all the time, so he's used to being in rough spots and finding ways out, staying calm even though the pressure's on.
See where he can go from here. You know, for Corbin, he needs to start framing on the inside and kind of get some sort of guard back, even if it's just a turtle.
Corbin, recent gold at the East Coast Grappling Fall Noogie Open as well. So no slouch, and like you said, very active on the East Coast scene here.
Yeah, Corbin has seen it all when it comes to grappling in the Maritimes, right? So it's actually an interesting match here to see like one of the most active grapplers versus a kind of an unknown to him, right? Like Jean-Sebastien has only had so much exposure on the East Coast, so it's a very interesting matchup.
Yeah, Jean-Sebastien with that national level, international level competition experience is gonna really assist him here. I think throughout the whole tournament today.
And he gets the tap.
Beautiful pressure. Beautiful pressure.
All right, we'll turn it back over to Jeremy.
Winner by shoulder lock, Jean-Sebastien Dion.
Hotel, some biddy, gotta doing my bidding. You changed, no kidding. Wasn't always as pretty.
Tonight's next matchup is another Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. First, fighting out of the Halifax Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Society and Mavericks Jiu-Jitsu in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Please welcome Harvinder Singh.
Back home smoking legal. I got more than the Beatles. Pointing on diesel, dog. Playing with my nigga, this lethal, dog. What? Corleone. Trust me, at the top of this and
And representing the pit in Oromocto, New Brunswick, Charles Gallagher.
All right, an exciting matchup here. You know, these are two very active competitors, and you know, I like to start off with Harv here. I call him the BJJ Iron Man. Okay, the Halifax Society Iron Man, because he's one of the most active grapplers in 2025 alone.
in every tournament.
15 events, 56 matches, including an ADCC silver in this year alone. You know, where doesn't he compete?
Yeah, this is an uphill battle for Charles. Like, I know Charles is competing a lot too on the East Coast, especially. I know he's done some things across the nation as well, but Harvinder is extremely active and is a very tough competitor to go against, especially for your first match.
Yeah, and with Charles though, he brings so much experience from across the country. You know, he's on a two-fight MMA win streak, one of them by submission. He also has an ADCC gold medal in beginner bracket to his name.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, both of these guys compete everywhere they can. He's also one of the faces of the Pit Submission Quintet team, so he's training with some of the best guys around.
Some tough guys for sure.
Yeah, this has got to be one of my favorite matchups of the night.
Harvinder doing good in the head control there, trying to look for the wrist control. These guys are just going to jostle for position for the first little bit until something opens up, I imagine.
You know, Charles looks so relaxed in there, you know, and
Yeah.
if you're at home and you're thinking, well, like, it's just, he might just be offering bad posture, I can promise you he's not. His IQ is very high in this. If he's going to stand up straight, he's looking for Harv to do something so he can capitalize on
The
it.
improvement in Charles over the last, I would say, 2 years alone has been incredible to watch.
Oh, it has been. You know, watching him go from just a grappler in the beginner divisions or regional scene to competition like this, it's so impressive.
Yeah, really stepped up his game.
And when you look at Harv too, like, Harv only started training a year and a half ago.
That's incredible.
He started training in 2024. And a great shot from Harvinder.
Nice. Beautiful takedown. Trying to lock the hips down a little bit.
Harv does look physically bigger, stature-wise. So let's see if he can use that size to capitalize on this.
Doing a good job of trying to kill that butterfly hook. Back into the closed guard.
We'll see how Charles' guard game is. He usually plays kind of from a top pressure position, so we'll see where it goes from. Referee resetting this to the center.
See if Charles can get any offense going here.
Looks like Charles is looking to play some sort of K-guard, Keymaster, some sort of entry there. So maybe he has some entrance into legs he's looking for. It wouldn't shock me being from the pit. Look for a rubber guard entry. Is he looking for some sort of go-go plata right now? Does he have the arm? Oh, he does have the arm, so yeah.
Oh,
an
he might have this
omoplata attempt.
omoplata lockout.
This is, yeah, Harv's doing the right thing here. He needs to keep himself very vertical. He needs to keep Charles's butt above his hips.
Charles having that hip control though. He's doing a great job. He might, if he sits up, this could be over.
Oh yeah, this is dangerous for Harv.
There's rear naked opportunity there as well. If he reaches over the neck and connect his hands, that can get tight real quick.
This is what we mean when we say Charles comes from such a crafty gym. You know, it's looking really, this is a bad position to be in if you're Harv.
Great job by Charles controlling that hip and trying to. Harvinder, great pressure on top two to pull
able
out.
to get the arm out.
That was amazing.
That was
Good
great.
job by Harvinder to stay controlled.
You know, for someone who's only been training for a year and a half, look at that composure.
Yeah.
So many people give up when they're in positions like that when they're new to the sport, but not Harv.
And right on the offense right away.
You know, when it really helps, Harv comes from a great team at Halifax BJJ. He trains with one of the title challengers tonight, Chad Fleck, religiously. He trains with a lot of the competitors there. So he's always in a room of ironing, sharpening iron.
Oh, yeah. He's got an incredible camp behind him, right? So it's an uphill battle for anyone going against him.
But that being said, with how crafty Charles is, if you're Harv, you got to think that was a wake-up call. Do not let that happen again.
I wonder if that attack took a little bit out of Charles.
All right, looks like Harv has some sort of rear naked on right now, but he doesn't have any hooks in. But you can't finish that, obviously, without the hook, so let's see where he goes.
Hard to see from this angle.
Okay, just has double unders right now, looks to come up.
Good job by Charles to escape that.
Again, experience level from Charles, just doing the right things, not panicking.
6 minutes left in this match. Points coming up in, what, a minute?
You could have fooled me with that. They were moving so much, and I don't think we've seen points yet tonight.
No, we haven't seen them yet. And these guys have been going at it nonstop. And that's what I'm loving so far about tonight is everyone's looking for the finish.
Yeah, well, that's, if you're a fan of really high stakes jiu-jitsu with really great finishes, Breakthrough Grappling Series is the place to be. How often do we see a fight go to decision?
The matches here have been incredible. And the card tonight is just stacked. Charles doing a great job getting that really high guard.
Yeah, you know, he's really playing well with that. Look for the omoplata again.
Nice. Harvinder doing a good job of pulling that arm out, resetting.
You know, points go into effect in 30 seconds. And for the folks at home who don't remember our point system, for the first 5 minutes of a match, there are no points. But after that, it goes to IBJJF points. And, you know, for the first 5 minutes, you can take chances. But in about 20 seconds, you have to start really thinking, where do I end up on points if I fall underneath someone?
Yeah, the game starts being played here very soon, and you have to be a lot more cautious about positioning. Charles doing a good job of maybe getting a top position right before points start off.
Harv can't look to accept this position right now. He really needs to look to shake him off, look to defend. You know, you don't want to, with points in effect now, it can become a multifaceted
Great job
game.
by Harvinder to peel him off
Look
and
at
wiggle
that.
out. Still has his head trap though.
The ref signaled no points, so that is good news for Harv. He needs to step over that top knee to avoid getting guillotined.
I don't know how tight that is for Charles there. He's still on the neck a little bit. Oh, he let it go.
This is 4 points for Charles, though. Great sub attempt into points.
Now you wonder, there's been 2 decent attempts by Charles now for attacks. How does that play into Harvinder's game plan in terms of how much energy he's got left? Oh, he might have given up the neck there.
Let's see where this goes. Charles is actually up 9-0 due to the transitions there, with the sweep, the pass, and the mount.
Harvinder's still working, though. He doesn't look tired.
No, I don't think either of these athletes are tired. I think it's just in the position you're in, you don't want to make the mistake of giving up your neck, right?
You open up too much, then it's game over, especially at this level.
And, you know, there's a really good handcuff grip that Charles is using to break down that base. It eliminates a hand for defense. It also eliminates a hand for building up a base and shaking him off. And it looks like Charles might be under the chin right now.
Can do attack again.
Short choke attempt.
Yeah, short choke attempt.
It's an awkward angle, so Harv is able to get out.
Quarter mount, rather.
Mm-hmm. But again, he can kind of point farm here if he's able to get that foot out, because the quarter guard is reestablishing a guard.
Good job getting under that elbow on top.
Charles looking for an Americana or maybe a key lock here.
I'd like to see Charles take his left leg, pummel it over, and try to find a way to get that foot free to really secure the mount in that top position.
You know, with 3 minutes left, 9
There it
points,
is.
and he's. Oh, and good job at Harv keeping that at 9 points. But 3 minutes left at 9 points. That's a deep hole to dig yourself out of.
Yeah, it's not a lot of time to work being
But-
down by that amount.
But we've talked about 56 matches in 1 year. I think that means that if someone's been in a place where they have the experience to get out of a position like this and win a match in 3 minutes, it'd be Harv.
Yeah, Harvinder's not going to quit. I'd like to see him look to turn in a little bit. He's got that arm that's a little bit in danger there from that arm triangle, so he's got to watch out. He's doing a good job of using his hand to try to pummel it back in, though.
If you're Charles and you kind of sit out, you can finish that arm triangle with a half guard.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of putting pressure down on him.
And Charles doing a good job acknowledging that he doesn't need to necessarily finish him right away. He can cook him. He's still got minutes and he's up on time.
Yeah.
Or up on points, rather.
Would love to see Charles use that foot to pummel. Kick that left foot over the hip and look to peel out and try to secure that position a little bit more. You get a little bit more pressure on that choke.
Harv doing everything he can to keep any sort of submission attempt off the neck away. You know, he's hand fighting really well. It's just a tough position to be in.
Harv had his elbows inside there for a little bit, but he's got them separated and pulled back out now, and this is a bad position for him. It's just hard when your elbow's so high to be able to turn back into your opponent.
You know, Charles is really impressing me. He's showing a really great elevation like he always does in his game.
And he's calm, man. He looks cool and collected, and he's having a good time. Oh,
Jumps
on
that
it.
crank. Is he under he's not under the chin, but this is painful. Harv doing everything he can to fight the top hand.
Harvinder did a good job of tucking his chin back in and turning into the choke some, take the pressure off.
You know, it's a tough position to be in. You know, he's Charles got a thigh ride on right now.
Yeah.
With a minute left, you have to kind of Hail Mary escape this, and Charles is doing everything right.
Charles is just glue on him right now. He's stuck to him. Doing a great job of staying tight, but Harvinder might be able to pull a reversal off here and end up in the closed guard.
If you're Charles, you don't want to trip at the finish line right now.
Triangle locked up here.
Looks like he has an arm extended, but our view is blocked from the commentary table.
35 seconds left to make something happen here and get the finish. Let's see if Charles can pull it off.
You know, Charles is not content with a win by points. You know, he's really hunting a submission even where he could just kind of rest this out.
Yeah. He's doing all he can to try to finish that off.
And that's the classic pit mentality. That gym is only satisfied with finishes.
Yeah. Harvinder doing a great job of trying to defend. Oh.
And he gets another match not going to decision.
Not going to decision here, folks.
Your winner by bicep slicer, Charles Gallagher. Tonight's next matchup will be contested in the women's superweight division. First, fighting out of Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Amherst, Nova Scotia, please welcome Vicky Pointer. And I want to correct my mistake. Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick. And representing Westside MXT Jiu-Jitsu in St. John, New Brunswick, Smith.
You know, Alex, I like the sound of that. When I come to train with you down from Halifax, I like the idea of saving about 70 kilometers off my drive.
Yeah,
if you guys want to move up our way.
We're not moving to Amherst, that's for sure. This is a great match here. Vicky, great at judo. Tori, tenacious in every position.
You know, both judo brown belts.
Oh,
Yeah. And so we're going to see a lot of stand-up from them.
has Tori competed a lot in judo?
She competes every so often in judo, obviously kind of the jiu-jitsu faithful. But as we say every time, we've hit an important benchmark here. Tori has 100 wins on Smooth Hop right now.
That is incredible.
She is one of the most active grapplers I think I've ever seen. I know we just said that about Harv, but I think we have to correct our mistake. I think Tori is the most active grappler from the East Coast, maybe ever.
Yeah, Tori's nonstop. You see her at every competition, and she's a tough match for anyone.
Great job IDing that that throw by Vicky. And you know, classic Tori, straight to work on pressure. It's going to be a very hard day underneath Tori. So Vicky really needs to work on escaping this and reestablishing a half guard.
Yeah, I'm hoping Vicky's learned a little bit from the last matches. She's had matches against Tori before. Tori's been successful in those matches. Vicky knew this was going to be a tough match for her to start off with, but she's a game opponent, and she wanted the challenge. So here we are.
Yeah, well, Vicky's really coming into her own on the high level scene. You know, she's competed in the Rogue Grand Prix in 2024. She's competing on the Breakthrough Grappling Series. You know, she's really starting to kind of come out into the highest levels of regional grappling. And I think we can all say she belongs.
Yeah, she's definitely learned to be a little bit more cool and collected in these bad positions. See if she can do a good job here of trying to keep her arms protected. Tori's hunting for those arms. Tori's aggressive too.
Oh yeah, the one thing you can say about Tori when you watch her grapple is that even in good positions, she's looking for something better.
Yeah.
She's never content with just what she has. She wants more points. She wants more subs. She wants more aggression. She wants to be exactly where she wants to be, and it kind of is her brand.
Yeah, and for anyone to go up against her, guy or girl, she's a good role. She's tough.
You know, right now you got to assume that this is taking a toll on the cardio, obviously, of Vicky. But Tori, you know, very composed. She's been here 100 times, and she's kind of just looking to find her shot.
Yeah, she's just taking her time, staying glued with the hips. This is smart by her. If she can get under the elbows of Vicky and make her day a little bit worse, that would be a lot.
We should also say that Tori is a current champion at Breakthrough Grappling Series. She is the under 145 champ. She's looking to become the double champ. of
Double
Breakthrough
champ.
Grappling Series.
Trying for it. They're going to reset them back to the middle.
You know, points aren't in effect, so this isn't a hope is lost situation for Vicky. She has 2 minutes to escape.
Yep, time to work.
Yep, without points, and you know, if she can, then it's a clean slate for her.
Tori keeps looking for that arm lock.
Tori does such a good job at going from technical mount to mount, moving side to side.
Switches between the two consistently.
You know, if you're Vicky here, you got to do more than just those bridges. Tori can ride those out really well. You got to start to look to scoop up a foot, kind of look to recover a 3/4, then a half guard, maybe Oompa. You're gonna, there's a little bit more she needs to do against a really high level opponent like Tori.
Yeah, if she's not getting on the hips, she's gonna have a long day here on the bottom.
But you know, she trains with a good camp with you guys at Quantum. I'm sure she's in these positions a lot, especially with heavier opponents.
Yeah, and we kind of tried to get her prepared for some of the aggressiveness that Tori brings and the pace that comes along with that. We knew it would be a tough match. Just tough to find people closer to her size, I think, and strength level to mimic the type of opponent that she's currently facing right now. But we train bad positions all the time. That's why you're seeing her survive here. Not her first time being mounted, understands what to keep tight, where to go. Would just love to see her work lower frames a little bit more. Yeah, there she goes, trying to push that foot and get back to there you go. Back to like a quarter mount or something where she can actually work. Tori's doing a good job at that top knee though, putting pressure in.
Yeah, and Tori, we've seen this before. She's very comfortable in these positions, but Vicky is now starting to do everything right when it comes to scooping up that leg because she knows that she can't be under here forever.
No. Getting close to points.
Kind of in a coyote guard-like situation there, but, you know, Tori's able to move back into mount. But again, 30 seconds away from points. If Vicky can escape, you know, this is kind of all for naught on Tori's side.
Yeah. It's a long day to stay in her mount for 4 or 5 minutes, though, with Tori there trying to attack nonstop.
Yeah, and, you know, she's doing a great job at defending the sub, but how long can you defend that sub if you're underneath?
No, it really wears
like
on
Tori.
you. 4 or 5 minutes, that's exhausting. Yeah.
It is. And, you know, your cardio wanes. A lot of people think that cardio comes from kind of those like long distance movements or maybe a wrestling match that goes on for 5 minutes on the feet. But if you're underneath Tori, it can get, and a submission attempt here.
Great job by Vicky.
And Vicky's able to get up, and there is still no points. So this is a clean slate for Vicky. let's see if she can compose herself and capitalize on this right now.
Oh, Tori doing a good job of wrapping the head. Great job trying to recover the guard by Vicky, but Tori did a great job of grabbing the head, trying to roll her over, look for that Manta guillotine. Didn't pan out, but she still got that heavy top position.
Yeah, and she still got the sweep points, so.
Yeah.
And now she's up 5 on points, so. And this is where points start to really matter, right? Kind of going, and if you're Vicky, you need to really start kind of making that deal with the devil of, if I'm going to defend this way, it's going to cost me points, and I'm going to need the submission, right?
Yeah. She almost has, like you said, if she opens up a little bit, yes, Tori might attack, but that's going to be her opportunities to get out and try something.
And when you're down by 7 with 4 minutes left, you still have a lot of time to kind of regain those, but you do have to start taking chances here.
Yeah. Vicky to her knees. Tori looking to take the back here.
Tori is tenacious with hunting for the sub, right? Like she could kind of ride out this dominant position, but she's not giving her a second to breathe. She's constantly looking for something.
Constantly digging.
It's so frustrating as a grappler if you're underneath someone like that, because you're constantly worried about giving up points versus giving up your neck and trying to do the mental math of that.
I'd like to see Vicky maybe roll through.
Tori being a judo brown belt as well is doing a really good job at not kind of getting elbow deep into that turtle, because she knows that Vicky
The
can,
rolls are there,
Yep, she knows Vicky knows those counters. We often talk about how aggressive Tori is, but we don't often talk about how high IQ she is. She's had so much experience.
Well, and that goes with the, like you said, all those matches in, she's comfortable in every single position. Like she's is aggressive, but is also extremely technical and patient, right? She knows when to pick her shots, when to look around. There she goes, trying to cut that knee through. So aggressive with her knee cuts.
And
So good.
you see the other bracket challenger, Andrea Bradshaw,
Yeah.
very closely watching what's going on right now, analyzing things. She's a very talented grappler, and she kind of flew under the radar in the Maritimes, but she has so much experience in her own right, and I think she is looking at this thinking, I'm developing my game plan right now. She hasn't taken her eyes off the action.
Yeah, it's not shocking to see Tori have a top heavy pressure game, though. She's great at this when she gets here, knows how to peel elbows, start looking to isolate and attack. And like you were saying earlier, we'll switch to the technical mount consistently. Doing a great job of isolating those arms on Vicky right now. Lost it a little bit. But man, that pressure, that's going to be exhausting for Vicky.
Yeah, and right now, she's kind of moving into that high mount that she makes her home. She's trying to get her knee over top of the arm there, see if she can isolate it, maybe look for some sort of triangle.
Yeah, triangle opportunity there.
Another thing, though, for Tori and Vicky, they both have to fight again tonight. How exhausted are they going to be? Vicky, although is down on points, is not making this an easy day for her.
No, she's making Tori work for it at least.
Yeah.
Still got a minute and a half left here to see if Tori can try to look for a finish, or is Vicky going to be able to survive?
And if you're Tori, do you keep looking for that finish, or do you think, okay, I'm up 14 points, I still have to grapple a very, very talented grappler from a very good gym with other athletes on the card tonight who have all been prepping?
Tori, she's going to go for it.
I think so too. As I was saying that, I was kind of thinking in my head that
She's going for
this, and she wants a submission.
Yeah. She hasn't let up at all, and she's still looking to peel those elbows or look for some type of Ezekiel choke. Like, it is just constant threats and attacks.
Yeah. And you got to be impressed by her just pure aggression.
That high mount is so dangerous too. Like, look how high she's riding up, trying to look for that arm.
It looked like she almost had an arm, but from our angle it was kind of blocked off. But with 40 seconds left,
Vicky's done a great job of just consistently making little gaps of space and trying to reset back into at least a mounted position. But 30 seconds, Tori's looking to maybe finish this up.
Yeah, I think you were right. 30 seconds, and she's still looking for a submission.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
looking for that arm bar.
Vicky goes back flat to avoid it.
And with 10 seconds left, it looks like we're going to see Tori kind of, I say that, but then still more action. No. Oh,
Vicky looking for a last-second attack.
Wow, okay. Their action straight to the buzzer. So our first decision tonight looks like it'll be a 14-0 win on points for Tori.
Great job by
Turn it
Tori.
back to Jeremy.
Winner by points, Tori Smith.
Again, I want that tongue again, stuck it so good that she cough up a lung again. 5-star bitches, they on the run again, running in diamonds, they illuminating the way that I come again. I just put so many pennies on the watch and I don't never got stunned again. Look, Tori. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass that like Stockton. Just joshing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. My body got rid of them toxins.
Just a brief technical break, folks.
All right, well, you know, as we have a little bit of technical difficulties, let's digest what we've seen so far. There were so many quick finishes and then a very dominant performance. So looking back on that, what was your kind of highlight so far?
Out of all the matches, to be honest, I think I'm most impressed with Charles Gallagher. His improvement over the past 2 years kind of showcased itself tonight. This was the best version of Charles I think we've seen, and someone might need to look at giving him a blue belt at some point.
Yeah, I definitely think Charles had a fantastic showing. Like we said, that might be the best Charles Gallagher we saw against a very tough opponent. All right, we'll send it back to Jeremy.
Another Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. First, please welcome, fighting out of Breakthrough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Amherst, Nova Scotia, Justin Sweet Dreams Sears. His opponent, representing 374 Mixed Martial Arts in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Lorenzo Gallardo.
You know, a huge pop for the hometown hero, Justin Sweet Dream Sears. You know, he's the most active Breakthrough Grappling Series athlete we've had. If you look at a smooth top, every page has a BGS match on it until the start of the promotion.
That's incredible. He has been incredibly active, incredibly hardworking. I'm quite excited to see which evolution of Justin we get to see here tonight.
Yeah, well, he has a very tall task in front of him. Lorenzo Gallardo, 374. He's one of their guys. And, you know, like we've said before, very talented gym. They're a crew of people who all train, learn, travel, and compete together. He's an ADCC medalist in a beginner division in Austin in 2024. And if you win in Austin, doesn't matter if you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, you are good.
You're decent. Exactly. Yep. That says a lot to come out of Austin with any type of victory. So, like you said, Justin has a tall order ahead of him here.
Yeah, and they're both very high IQ guys. You know, Justin has so much experience. I don't think he's ever said no to a competition before. No. And we already see him hit the takedown.
That was beautiful.
Oh, amazing. Textbook. You know, he comes out of that breakthrough camp and Coach Jericho McPhee with some very talented wrestling.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now he's working that half guard, see if he can get the pressure and stay underneath that arm.
You know, and Justin is very heavy from on top. You know, he really makes people struggle. You know, we've seen in the past get a little too excited for positions and submissions, so let's see how calm he can be up here. And he's making great eye contact and listening to Coach Jericho McPhee, so that's a great evolution from him.
Gave up that underhook. I would have liked to have seen him keep that and just keep the pressure that he had. But I think he was looking back for a Kimura at some point. Good job.
Now, Lorenzo is dangerous into the legs, and you saw him there before Justin settled back into the half guard, kind of grab one. So maybe that's a wake-up call for Justin to stay glued to his chest.
Yeah, if you can get half guard, to me, you're halfway around the guard, right? So that's a half guard is always, I always view it as a victory.
I do too, yeah.
And so if you can get past that first leg, it's a big advantage for Justin. We'll see if he can keep that pressure.
And I've talked to Justin about his half guard passing, and he always says, if I get half guard, I should have mount. So he's confident in it.
And just like you said,
now he needs to settle back to not get knocked off here. Looking for some sort of triangle here.
Might
but
look for the triangle.
Yep.
Smart.
He does have one in and one out.
By Justin here. He's smart to stay mounted until he gets it secured. If he secures this could be as good as over.
Mm-hmm. doesn't have it locked yet, though. Oh, from the back.
Might get the back triangle.
Yeah. What he can't do is end up on bottom here, though. Yeah. You know, if you're Justin, you might not want to go first. Oh, he gets the tap.
The arm out. Wow. Wow. What a win by Justin.
What a
Pierce.
fantastic day for Justin. Talk about athletes who've evolved.
Justin, salute to you.
Sometimes your words just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. Yes, it's why they're broken.
Tonight's next matchup is another Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. First, representing Breakthrough Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Amherst, Nova Scotia. Welcome back, Relentless David Clement. His opponent, fighting out of Evolution Training Center in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Mean Devin Turner.
All right, two of the greatest characters on the East Coast, Relentless Dave Chapman and Devin Mean Turner.
This should be a great match.
Devin Turner Mean, rather.
Yeah. Excited to see this one. Oh, they came out strong. David pulls guard.
You know, Dave has a very tricky guard. He's gotten some great wins on the BGS over Colin White, who we saw grapple earlier. And so has Devin, though. You know, Devin's known for being that big, aggressive MMA character. But his last match against Matt Harnish on the BGS, you know, he showed a lot of patience and a lot of smart grappling.
You're starting to see that more and more. And like we were saying about Tori earlier, it's the patience of and some of the experience that you're starting to see with these athletes on the East Coast. It's great. Oh, jumping on the
sits
leg
back for
right
an
away.
ankle lock. And Dave's able to clear the leg. We'll see where this goes. He needs to get, he needs to keep clearing that leg, though. He can't sit in this ankle lock.
No, Devin has a great bite on the legs right now. That could get tight quick.
Devin has a
Nice
grip on the knee. He's
traction.
looking to come up. Thought for a second we were going to see a leg lock shootout.
Yeah, that was gonna get nasty. To be able to pull your legs out of those situations is one, difficult, and two, great IQ by David to realize the threat and just reset.
And, you know, Dave's not worried about being in his guard. This is kind of where he wants to be. He's totally okay with playing out of his guard right now.
Looking for that arm lock. Doesn't quite get it. Might get stack pass here. Devin's looking to get around. I can't see from this angle whether he's got the cradle or not, but
You know, Devin does come out of a very good camp at Evolution with former 220-pound champ Rory Gillis and Ben Lease, athletes like that. And they are smart, and their grappling has only evolved.
yeah, and they've spent a lot of time, with guys like Casio as well too, right?
Yep.
Out of the Knots camp.
They also cross-train at the pit a lot. And, you know, if you're getting time with Casio at Knots and you're getting time at the pit, as well as your everydays with the athletes you have at your gym, you're going to get better. And you're going to get better fast.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing a great job of keeping that far leg or that top leg pinned. He's using his left arm as a wedge to try to keep that space.
Dave with the re-guard.
Almost gets the triangle attempt. He's still threatening it. He's still threatening. Great job. Great job by Devin to avoid that triangle. Now you wonder, is he going to try to sit back on the legs here?
It kind of looks like he is. Yeah, he establishes a 50-50. It's very deep. Now he starts looking for, it
Now
looks like he's looking for the
big-
inside heel hook
Yeah.
now. You're Dave, you got to fight those hands and come up, try to crush that.
Devin doing a great job trying to push away right now. David's got to be careful.
Yeah.
Good job controlling that wrist. I'd like to see him get some weight back up on that foot, though, and try to peel off that 50-50.
Yeah, and if you're Dave, you really can't expose your foot anymore because right now Devin kind of has the choice of an ankle lock or a heel hook. Dave doing a great job listening to his coaches.
Back take opportunity here.
And Dave's come up. Oh, still
Back
looking.
on that outside ankle lock. Yeah.
Devin doing a great job chasing these legs.
He's on the almost looks like he's on the heel.
And it looks like Devin's doesn't have the knee line anymore.
That's it. Great job. Man, these guys are having a great technical battle.
This is not the Devin Mean we've seen before. Devin Mean sitting back on legs, being patient. This is an evolution of Devin. We've seen so many athletes tonight that are reoccurring characters on the Breakthrough Grappling Series only get better. And showing their skill set here means that they're getting better, knowing that the competition is at the Breakthrough Grappling Series.
Exactly. There's tough competition here, and these guys know that they have to go back to the gym and have a game plan of how to improve and what to work on.
You know, Dave looks unbothered, though. He's been in these positions before.
Very bothered.
Did a great job at fighting off those submissions, and he knows the points aren't on, so he can play on bottom and not really worry.
Yeah, he's only got 40 more seconds, though, to enjoy that luxury of no points. But, again, his guard's been pretty solid so far. Just the threat of Devin being sitting back on those legs is what he's got to watch out for, right?
Yeah, it really makes kind of an open guard scenario tough for him. Oh, looking for an armbar. Oh, he has an armbar.
That looks tight. That looks tight.
Goes
That
belly
looks tight.
down. Devin doing everything he can to fight off. Dave needs to hip into this heavy to finish it.
Wow,
We'll
that's
see.
tight.
Wow.
Great job by Devin to keep
Devin
fighting out of
really
this.
fighting this off. This looks tough. But
Yeah, his face was grimacing some. I did see that.
yeah. Dave only has one hand on it now, though, so it looks like he might have lost it.
Oh,
Oh, great job by Devin Mean, and a great job by
Wow.
Dave. Points are in
beautiful
effect.
attack. I wonder if they'll reset them back to the center here at some point soon.
I think Dave got a little bit of respect back for Devin on that one. Yeah.
After those leg attacks, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. We move them back to the center so
Yeah.
they can move a little.
Gotta love mats like this. Oh, you're gonna attack my legs? Well, I'm gonna take your arm. We'll see how that works. You know, it's
Exactly.
a tit for tat battle right now.
Love to see the back and forth, though. It just means both guys are really going for it and opening up. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see a stalemate of guys just sitting in guards. You want to see someone open up and try to attack or look for a sweep opportunity or a pass opportunity. What I find as the levels increase, if you don't stand up, it becomes a stalemate. It's really hard to open the guard from your knees if your opponent on the bottom is not willing to open their guard.
Yeah, and you know, if you're Devin and if you're gonna be buried down like that, it only gives opportunities for Dave. His best move would to be posture up and try to kind of step over the hands when he breaks the guard. Dave doing a good job though, you know, just kind of letting him picking his battle. See, he kind of hips out there,
Guards
and
open.
another sit back on the
That
angle lock,
is
just like you said.
The threat of opening the guard is that you have a guy like that can jump on top. But
And Dave's able to get around.
Devin with the back
Oh.
or the body lock, that was beautiful. Great takedown.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we'll see points off of that or not.
I don't think we got points because it was in the scramble and he did jump the guillotine off of it.
Yes,
So
true.
it was Dave initiating the pull to the ground.
Yeah.
Devin kind of fell into it.
And
So
really all started off of David fighting off his back anyway, right? That's where
So,
the whole
I think
attempt started from.
that's where the no points comes from.
Still trying to ride that guard high. You see him throwing those legs up.
And if no points remains for 3 minutes, that is this is going to be a tough decision to call. Oh, Devin doing a good job. Look for a
Devin might
stack
get the
pass.
Stack pass, yeah. Great job putting weight on.
Dave's so dexterous from his back.
Yeah. So good at staying inverted like that. I hate being crushed up on the back of my neck.
These lightweights though, they can
They can handle it.
yeah. When you got one of us up on our back, that's 200 pounds just pressure on our neck.
Yeah, when you're over 40, you don't want someone bending you in half like that.
Is stack past the meta for Masters 5?
I think it is. Now, if David can get this leg out, he might get the triangle, but Devin was smart there.
You know, David does have a leg, so he technically has a half guard. He has his leg underneath of Devin.
Yeah.
So
Wonder if we see Devin try to sit back at some point again on the legs. You usually have a few of those opportunities when someone's trying to play knee shield or if there's like a half guard situation. Devin just still sitting on his knees. I'd like to see him come up and put a little bit more forward pressure. Energy levels at this point could also be playing a factor as well, though.
yeah, it has been very high pace.
Yeah, a
You know-
lot of back and forth.
Hearing a good pop from the crowd for the hometown hero, Dave Chapman, but
Devin might be getting around this guard.
yeah, it looks like Devin might pass here.
He was able to wrap up those legs.
You need, and that is points. So that will be points as Devin
Minute
is
20
solidified.
left, locking in some points. Big advantage for Devin here.
Yeah.
Going into the final few seconds.
If you're Dave, you got to make something happen to get those points back or get that sub.
He's going to be looking just to stay super tight. I don't know if he's going to be looking for a finish right off the bat, but he's going to be content with his position for sure.
Oh, looking for a reversal. Look for a reversal here. Oh,
He's
Dave's
out.
able to get up.
Wow.
Can Dave get the back? Oh, he falls off the back. He got a little too excited there.
No quit from Dave.
No, looking for this armbar again. Oh, no quit from Dave though. Constantly
No
looking for a
quit.
triangle. Constantly looking for a back take. You know,
Devin just playing tight right now. You can tell that took a little bit out of him. Trying to slow it down and not give David any opportunity to come ahead in the final seconds of the fight. We still have 35 seconds, folks, and
if
this could
Dave
change quickly.
if Dave can get a sweep here though of any sort and end up in a dominant position, he will win though on points. 30 seconds looking for some sort of Choi bar.
Dave doing everything he can to try to make space. Devin doing everything he can to try to stay tight and slow it down.
Hear about everybody in the breakthrough corner screaming for Dave to go for broke right now. Can he get his arm separated for the Kimura? It doesn't look like he'll be able to.
And Devin's just content to hold on and for the win.
With 5 seconds left, that's smart jiu-jitsu by Devin. What a great match by these two contenders. Fight of the night candidate already. A feature prelim for the record books.
Great back and forth.
Your winner by points, Devin Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, now's your opportunity to visit our merch table or to visit our sponsor, Paisanos Express, while we enjoy a 20-minute intermission. See you soon.
Got a special treat right now. We got title challenger Stephen Clement here. Now, Steve, this is a big day for you. You're rematching Chad Fleck, someone that you had a very, very tightly contested match with in the last title bracket. How does that change how you look at this? What have you seen from him, and what did you prepare like for this match, knowing that you had that 10-minute battle with him?
To me, it's just another match. It's like I like Chad. You know what I mean? Like, there's no bad blood between us. That being said, I do know a bit of what his game is like now. So I had a little bit more time than just 3 days to prepare for this time.
Yeah, so that's a great point. And, you know, with your preparation, you know, there's got to be a fire inside you right now, because for those of you at home who aren't aware, the title for the 200-pound division was vacated by Tyler Jennings. Steve dropped a very tightly contested decision, which a lot of people said he won in the last Breakthrough Grappling event. Now, what does it do to you as someone who's preparing, someone with a competitor spirit, knowing you get a second chance, not only at Chad, but for that title that's sitting in front of you?
It just makes this match a lot more sweeter. It's, you know what I mean? Like, I get my rematch, but it's also for a belt. It's a cherry on top.
Of course, I bet it is. Well, good luck today, Steve. I'm sure you're going to do great. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Now, for the folks at home, we are going to do a total switch right now, because I am interviewing Quantum's co-head coach, who the other head coach at Quantum is my co-commentator, Alex, and my teammate, Chad Fleck, will be fighting this man right here. So we're going to do a full switch of commentator and athlete for the interview. So bear with us for just a second. Thank you.
Just breathe.
There we go. I think we're good. All right, folks. I'm here with Chad Fleck, one of the the current. Are you the current champ?
Number one contender.
Number one contender. There you go. Number one contender coming into the fight tonight against Stephen Clement. Chad, what have you done in your preparation to fight someone that you've already fought before? You might not already know his game.
Yeah, just a lot of the same. We're always training hard at Halifax BJJ, so mainly looking to avoid what he gave me trouble with last time, not getting pinned, not letting him hold me down, not letting him pass my guard.
Yeah. So I guess the game plan for you is you obviously like to play the guard game, look to pull, look to, you know, give him troubles, off balances, things like that from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. In terms of local competition prep, what have you done to be active over the past couple months?
Yeah, we just went to Boston in September, did pretty well there. First IBJJF tournament, gold in the gi, silver in the absolute.
Yeah.
So
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I had the chance to go down with Chad and have some fun in Boston, so we had a great time. I got to see Chad perform. Yeah, no, it's been a great time. So other than that, is there anyone you'd like to thank or give props to leading up to your match that have helped you prepare, or that you just want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just everybody at Halifax BJJ for helping me prepare, coaches, family and friends for watching at home. Breakthrough
Awesome.
for putting these shows on.
Yeah, no, they've done a great job. Thank you, Chad, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We're going to cut it back, folks.
Just breathe.
And bonus interview time. I'm here with Paolo McNeil, the challenger for the 220-pound plus divisional belt. Now, Paolo, what was preparation like? I know you come from a very competitive team at 374. You have a ton of athletes on the card tonight. So what was the atmosphere like in your gym prepping for this with you in the main event?
It was definitely a bit more high pressure, like lots of competition level rounds, lots of situational, just nonstop. Like we were doing, there was Shark Tank, but no time. So just you keep going. And then we did the gym as well. Our strength and conditioning got bumped up a bit. And I've been trying to do a lot more like cross training with Halifax BJJ, tap room, just try to get as many different body types, as many big guys as I could, honestly, just to get used to what Marc's going to bring. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Awesome. And as we've seen Marc before, being the current 220-pound champ with a win over a great grappler, Nathan Douglas, he's been on the quintet teams. When you look at an athlete like that versus just a local open or an ADCC international, what is preparation like for you preparing for a single champion versus an open?
So a lot of it honestly comes down to a mental game for me. Like in the end, I've trained as much as I can. I just need to not make mistakes. And, you know, Marc's a crazy, phenomenal grappler, so I definitely can't make any mistakes. I'm excited to see his judo. I'm excited to see what his judo is like versus my wrestling, and I think it'll be a pretty good match.
Awesome. You know, we've seen you before, and we've seen you absolutely show out and dominate. I don't think any mistakes are coming from you tonight. Good luck tonight in your title fight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And for the folks at home, stick around. If you thought the prelims were exciting, you are not going to want to miss this main card. 3 titles on the line tonight, under 145 pound, 200 pound, and 220. It's only going to get electric from here on out. Stay tuned.
Just breathe. 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 Just breathe.
really sweaty, so everything's sticky.
Both of them are, both of them are great athletes too. Both of them are quite strong. I think this is going to be a very contested matchup. They have had a match before, and I believe Corbin got the better of Andrew, so I know Andrew wants that back.
Corbin's so strong, man. It's so hard to move him.
What we don't want to forget about Andrew is he was a former professional soccer player. This man is a high-level athlete. So
I mean, I doubt we'll see him get tired then.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I used to try to play soccer as a kid, and not the sport for me. Oh, the Kimura attempt by Andrew. He's very good with this Kimura position.
Corbin looking for that arm lock, walk around arm lock. That was actually really smart.
Both of these guys have really been accumulating experience, and they show it. Like you said, they're both two high IQ grapplers.
Yeah.
And again, another fact about Andrew, an ADCC medalist, Vancouver. He had a silver medal.
Andrew just crushing that head and arm right now. We'll see if he might be able to lock that up. Oh, he got the arm back in. Nice. Great attempt by Andrew there. That actually put a little bit of threat on Corbin. Man, Andrew's active. He's looking to attack nonstop when he's on the bottom. Corbin did get around the guard there.
With Corbin here, you can kind of just cook him. I mean, it's not a bad idea if you're Corbin to see how much cardio you can take from him.
Yeah.
And although the winner of this bracket does get a guaranteed title shot, but if you're Corbin, you already drop one to JSWA. We don't know what will happen in the JSWA and Andrew McRae match later, but if you're Corbin, you think I'm gonna get a win, climb these rankings, and make my case for that shot even more strong.
Exactly. This is his chance to make his presence known and try to secure the victory to give himself a shot at that title. Nice reach around on that north-south choke attempt. She's looking to wrap the head.
Corbin being very patient here, that's an IQ thing, right? We've seen Corbin in the past kind of give up some good positions rushing. He's not doing that anymore.
No, that's the experience, right? That's him knowing he's got a good position, has to cook him a little bit, especially when you're dealing with someone stronger. If you don't take that time, it just allows them too much opportunity to bridge or explode and get out of those dominant positions that you might have worked so hard to secure.
And we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds until points. So if you're Andrew, this isn't necessarily a place you want to be, but the consequence is less. Oh, a little sneaky arm lock here from Andrew. Little sneak. Let's see where he goes with this. Oh, Corbin able to get out of it.
Corbin. Both very tough competitors, man.
Andrew looking to reestablish a guard, gets a 3/4, and looks like Corbin's going to slice through it pretty quick.
Yeah. And through it again. Good job keeping pressure. Andrew has great frames, though. That's what I'm noticing. He's really good at keeping a frame on that bottom hip and trying to keep Corbin off him. And he's got a frame on the inside there, just waiting for his opportunities. Just trying to make a little bit of space now, we can see.
Andrew's really good, too, at kind of recovering from bad positions. You know what I mean? He doesn't panic in them. He doesn't start thrashing. He just kind of waits for his opportunity to recover. It's Corbin's job right now to make sure he can't.
It's not a fun spot to be in for Andrew, is having Corbin on top of you.
Corbin very good with his pressure. Corbin's not one of those guys who gets to mount and just kind of lets it light. He has very heavy hips, and he really makes you pay.
Yeah, he's going to try to smother him a little bit here. And all that's really going to do is force Andrew's hands up, right? Keeps them off the hips, forces them up to try to make some space.
Looks like Corbin has an attempt on armbar here. Okay, no, he was just
trying to get to the legs.
It's not something we've seen Corbin do a lot of, is attack the legs. I'm kind of curious to see if that's something he's been working on.
He's been playing with it a lot more, and he's looking for this Kimura right now, and he's also known for that. Once he secures it, he's really good with it.
Great sweep. Oh, Andrew has a heel hook attempt. Can't really see from our angle where this is, but doesn't look like Corbin is necessarily too worried. If you're Corbin, you want to fight this smart. You don't want to just start spinning here.
No, and he's kind of just sitting back in it, and worries me a little bit because you see Andrew does have a bite on that heel. This could go from 0 to 100 real quick, so he's got to be very careful. Corbin did a great job.
He taps.
He caught him.
Yeah. Great job by Andrew, picking his moment. All right, we'll turn it back over to Jeremy for the official decision.
Your winner by heel hook, Andrew Mercury. Tonight's next matchup will be contested in the women's superweight division. First, fighting out of 374 mixed martial arts in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Please welcome Andrea Bradshaw. And representing Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, Vicky Tyler.
All right, for the second match of the women's 145 division. All right. You know, we got a relatively unknown grappler
I was
to
gonna
the
say,
BGS, Andrea Bradshaw.
I don't know a lot about Andrea.
She doesn't compete a lot locally, but one thing you should know, intermediate division gold, ADCC Open in Austin, Texas.
Wow.
She has a high pedigree of grappling. She is talented, she's aggressive, and I've seen her train, and she is really, really good in transition. And a current win over an opponent she'll see later in the bracket, Tori Wilson.
Both of them looking to stand up here. Both of them jostling for inside position, head control, little foot sweeps. I like this, actually. Very technical battle on the feet right now.
Now, you gotta wonder with Vicky, with going the distance with Tori Smith, how much that kind of takes out of her into this match.
Probably took a bit of a toll. Like that was a long match, a long grueling one. And you have Andrea coming in fresh. Now Andrea might have a little bit of the first match jitters too. As you know, competing, it's the first match is usually your hardest.
Yeah.
Right. It's trying to find your flow, trying to find your breathing, and adapting to having a crowd watch you.
Yeah. Sometimes having a first round bye is more of a curse than a blessing.
Yep. Vicky heavy on the head there. Nice two-arm attempt by Andrea.
Yeah, she's been going to that Russian tie a lot.
Yeah, I like that.
That being said, you know, if you go to that Russian tie and you look for off balancing, Uchimatas, getting your hips in there, that's something Vicky really could take advantage of with that judo brown belt.
Yeah. Vicky's mostly, she likes to turn her hips, get in on some type of hip throw or a basic foot sweep is what you tend to see more of from Vicky's stand-up. And it's just because of the judo base, right?
Yep. Looks like Vicky will have that opportunity. Andrea's been getting really extended off that front leg, looking to tie her legs up, maybe go for a single.
Yeah.
So if she's going to be kind of splayed out like that and Vicky can get her hands in, then we'll see where she can go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, hips in rather. Look for that foot sweep a lot too. You know, that might sneak up on her. Give Andrea something to think about.
Andrea's trying to hook that outside leg. She's really having trouble with Vicky's frame there, right? She's almost looking frustrated with it.
Well, one thing we've noticed with Vicky is her hand fighting is very, very good. You know, she doesn't just allow people inside on her. So I think it's going to frustrate Andrea if she's kind of looking to get those arm drags or Russian ties.
7.5 minutes left. Both just looking for top position. Oh, she might get her head snapped down here.
Oh, a
nice.
great, wow, highlight reel
Beautiful throw by Vicky.
You know, and that's what you were talking about, Alex. She's looking to get her hips in. She bided her time. You know, what a fantastic throw.
Beautiful, beautiful throw by Vicky there.
You know, Andrea's got really long dimensions though. So though, you know, being in the guard, she might be able to use this position
She
to her
might be
advantage.
happy here,
Yeah.
exactly. This
Playing a
might
very
not be
high guard.
very nice high guard.
Looking for, oh, looks like an armbar attempt, and she gets the tap. Beautiful armbar attempt, recovering well from a very heavy throw. Turning it over to Jeremy for the official decision.
Winner by armbar, Andrea Bradshaw.
Your money.
Listen to me, straight, bitch.
The way you move it, got me in a train. DJ tell me ladies get so jam. This is my sky. You ain't even pay. I'm the this money. Drop it to the bar.
Our next matchup is another Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. First, representing Grant's Martial Arts in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, please welcome Brennan Maloney. And fighting out of the Halifax Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Society in Halifax, Nova Scotia, please welcome back
All right. As always, a grand entrance from Hollywood Pete Reedley.
Oh, that was
Your
incredible.
favorite grappler's favorite grappler.
He was excited to come in here.
You know, shout out to Brett Maloney taking this fight on under a day's notice to replace Pete's former opponent, Evan Tom, straight to the grappling though. Wow.
Jumped on those legs
Yeah.
right away. Great roll through.
Yeah, Pete needs to stay heavy on that front leg, not let him kind of finish that false reap roll through there. Just signal to us. He wanted
Give a
points for
little
that.
peace sign. Trying to let everyone know that he's okay. But he's got to be. He's got to watch out here.
He needs to get that knee line free, you know. Okay, he's sitting in the 50. He's doing okay now. Sits up. Brenton doing a really good job of
Brenton-
attacking that leg, though. You know, Brenton's
Very
hunting that.
Aggressive attacking. Peter's got to be very careful here.
You know, if you're Peter, you got to start looking to free that knee line, right? Like, I know the showmanship is great, but right now he's in a very tough spot.
Yeah. At some point, you have to respect the position you're in. And there we go.
And he gets out of it. There we are.
Nice takedown by Breton.
Good roll through. Let's see if Peter can capitalize on this. Try to turn into him from here. And it wraps up a front
Nice.
headlock. You know, this is Peter's bread and butter here. You know, Breton was playing a really good game right there, but now Peter has kind of a guard pass situation. Let's see where he looks to settle into. In a half guard, okay. The ref will probably look to reset them in just a second here.
Yeah, that was great transitioning by Peter there to get back up on top and to start the attack. Now he's hunting for that top side guillotine.
You know, this is Peter's bread and butter. He transitions very well from the guillotines to the Darius Anaconda, etc.
Great job by Breton.
Jump
Makes some
straight on it.
space. Back to standing. We see if Breton's a little bit more prepared now that the match has gone on a little bit warmed up. Like you said, to take it on such short notice and to jump into a match against Peter of all people.
Well, Breton's recently seen some success. You know, he's on a 3-fight MMA win streak, all by rear naked choke. So that's obviously he has some great grappling background. You know, when you're going to train at Grant's MMA, you're going to be good everywhere. Not many people train heavily out of Grants, and I don't think I've ever seen someone train heavily out of Grants and not be a well-rounded athlete.
No, exactly. Great jiu-jitsu, great stand-up. And these guys are pretty comparable in size. Breton's a little bit smaller, obviously, but doesn't seem to phase him at all. Both guys just looking for some type of positioning on top. Peter almost gets that snap down.
It's the second or third time we've seen Peter like really hunt that snap down, so that's probably part of his game.
And that arm drag, he likes that a lot.
Peter likes to use his explosivity. You know what I mean? We all get lost in the fun of the character of Peter Reedley and the Hollywood swagger and still, but he is a very explosive athlete. He can close distance extremely fast. He can jump on your neck extremely fast.
And there we go. We just see it again. He tried to jump on the neck.
Breton, you know, Breton's very composed right now. They have matched up against each other. Pete did get the better of him before, won by footlock, but you know, Breton clearly is not worried about this match. He knows what he wants to do. He knows how to kind of defend these snap down attempts. You know, he's a smart grappler.
Does not look like he took this on short notice. Let's just say that. It's been impressive so far. He's very comfortable in there. Pushing him back a little bit, maybe trying to get some type of reaction out of Peter. Peter not having it. Always tough.
Both these guys doing a good job of hand fighting, kind of like keeping each other at distance. But at a certain point, you kind of want to see some action out of them, right? You want to see someone take a shot. You know, it's a grappler's game out there. But when you're kind of looking at this, you're thinking someone's got to get in on someone.
Yeah. It's always the worry of giving up your neck, right?
Yeah.
You get a lot of guys that come out of wrestling camps that are used to being able to shoot shots and not worry about their neck. But yeah, when you have a grappling event like this and everything's available to you, you have to watch out. So you see guys, especially lower levels, sometimes a little bit more conservative in their approach because giving up the neck can just mean the end of the match, right?
Yeah, and I think these guys, with how familiar they are with each other. Oh, and as we say that, Pete looks like he's looking for a high crotch here, but we'll settle for a single leg. Oh, great athleticism. A little respect from Peter there.
Not the only one with some showmanship. That's impressive.
Maybe that will be my single leg defense next time.
It won't be mine. I will say that much.
That's a low-calorie grappler move.
Peter just playing at hands. Love to see him reach for that leg again. He looked like he was going to have some success with it because he was deep on that leg. So you haven't seen him take a lot of chances. There we go. A little bit of a fake.
Well, and when it comes to stand-up, like, you got to feint to open things up, right? Like, feints are so important because they make people react. You can read that, and then they're second-guessing everything you do.
Yeah, so much. There we go.
There we
back
go.
on that leg.
Yeah.
Breton trying to get on top of that neck. Peter tight and driving through.
Needs to get past those legs. Looks like he will.
And will we see some points awarded? We will.
Yep. He has passed the guard, so he should get 3 as well for the guard pass.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
There we go. 5-0 for Peter now. We have 4.5 minutes left. Breton's going to have to try to make some space, get on his side, either regain that guard, or come up to his knees if he can.
Yeah, and it looks like Peter's going to do everything he can to stay glued to the head and neck.
He's looking for that Darce choke.
Yeah, he has a great Darce choke game like we talked about. It looks like
doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like it's tight, and you know he can really cause you pain when you're down there too. You know, even if it's not on, the tightness of it, the cranking of it really hurts.
Just tires you out. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, might see something interesting from Breton here. Very crafty.
This is interesting. Trying to invert through it.
Oh, Breton takes
Insane
the back. Wow. Wow. What a highlight defense into a back take.
He's going to get the points for that.
And now, as we talked about, Breton has 3 rear naked choke victories in MMA. So this is a place he is comfortable.
He might be trying to turn this into a head and arm choke.
Yeah.
No, it decides to stay glued to the back.
It does look like he has a thigh ride on right now, so he's not going to get the point. Oh, no, it looks like his hooks are in. So
there we go. Now we get his points. Yeah, 4 points.
4 points for the back.
So we get a 5-4 match with Breton on his back. 3 minutes left.
You know, that makes this rough for Peter, because if you get your shoulders to the mat and then Breton gets him out, now you're down on points. Peter doing a really good job at defending the back, though. How long can he do this for? That's the question.
Yeah. Like you said, he's got to play this strategically. He doesn't want to get his back flat on the mat and then give up the mount. You'd want to regard or something right away, or get on top if he could. But that's going to be tough. Looks like a bit of a modified body triangle. There we go. Get a full body triangle on. Just so difficult to turn your hips when that body triangle is wrapped around yours.
Yeah, it is, and it really makes it hard to break the legs apart too, obviously, by nature of the body triangle, and it really adds an element of frustratedness if you're the person trying to defend it.
Yeah, we might see them reset back to the middle here. They are getting pretty close to the edge.
Brandon looks like he's kind of falling off to the side, though, so this might present an opportunity for Peter. You know?
Yeah, they're going to reset it.
Resetting this might present some opportunity for either of them to take advantage of the situation.
How about that back take by Breton, though? That was quite the acrobatic feat.
That was a highlight reel. Win or lose in this match, that's definitely getting on Instagram and going viral. All right, now Breton might look here to transition to this head and arm choke. He does have that arm isolated.
Yeah, and like you said, if he gets mount and gets those points,
if
can he
I'm
hold on for 2 minutes?
Great defense by Peter, though.
Peter, great
he
job
did exactly
staying
what
in.
he needed to do. Now, avoiding a sweep is paramount.
2 minutes to work, standing up. The danger with standing up is offering those legs, though.
Yeah. Needs to. Oh, he sits
Jumps
back
on
on
the
an
leg.
ankle lock. This is how Peter won the last time, so let's see if he can kind of capitalize on this situation. Belly down foot lock.
Oh, Brenton's doing a good job of trying to come back up.
Very compromising situation for Breton right now. Oh, it looks like he's able to. Looks like he's able to escape, but Peter needs to come on top here to avoid losing position.
Great job by both of them there, trying to battle for position.
Man.
Peter able to stay on top.
You know, I gotta say, Breton has shown massive improvements. His grappling game. I know he's down on 1 point right now, but this is very much a live fight.
Yeah. Minute left. This is still anyone's fight. Peter looking to get the crucifix. Doesn't wrap up that arm.
If you're Peter, you got to be smart here. You're only up by 1 point.
Yeah.
You
I
don't-
like what Peter's doing, though. See how he's putting that knee on the inside to try to peel off that elbow? That's smart.
That is.
There he goes. Crucifix. Yeah, yeah. But he fell off the front side, and he's going to lose position here. Is this going to count as a sweep?
Well, he has a submission attempt wrapped up. He had the Kimura, so. And now he's. All right. So we're going to be reset with 42 seconds left. With 1 point being the difference here. The urgency is massive from both athletes.
Incredible performance by Breton to take this on short notice and have no camp to prepare and to show up like this. This is incredible.
Oh, amazing, especially against such a skilled grappler like Peter. All right, now Peter really has to be smart here.
Yeah, and Breton has a big task of trying to open up that guard and make something happen in 30 seconds.
If you're Peter,
Breton's doing everything he can.
Oh, if you're keeping that guard shut, elevator sweep attempt. Oh, looking for a last minute footlock, maybe.
Ankle.
Then he jumps the guillotine.
Might get the takedown. Would that count?
No, I don't think it would. Where he jumped the guillotine.
Okay.
Yeah, where he jumped the guillotine, he
6
initiated a
seconds
submission.
left.
It was smart by Peter.
Oh my!
Wow.
Almost.
What a
passed.
fantastic
What a
match.
fight.
Short notice, Breton Maloney.
That might be match
That
of the night.
fight of the night, in my opinion.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Hollywood, Hollywood.
Daddy, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Well, last time I checked, I'm still high, real high. Kept it dope without a pill pop. Bill Cobb, steady climbing to the hilltop. Hip top, did it all off of a TikTok. Yeah, last time I checked, I still did it on my own, stay independent. For you to get what I'm getting, it will probably take a village. Just give me a minute, turn a snippet to a hit, and now they owing a percentage, but I'm only paying visits. Big dog, hit 'em with thick thumbs and a quick draw. Hit balls, if they ain't playing, they getting kicked off. Jigsaw, I got 'em puzzled, got 'em a bit lost. It's a beat in frenzy, I put the beat in a pick draw. Can't stop addicted to the shindig.
Tonight's next matchup is another Breakthrough Grappling Series Super Fight. First, representing Tower 1 Combat Sports in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, please welcome Luke da Saint Croix. His opponent, fighting out of the Halifax Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Society in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Nick Lauder.
All right, folks, this is my fight of the night, match of the night pick. You have Nick Lauder, Halifax BJJ's secret weapon is what they call him. An incredible athlete, super good front headlocks, great wrestling versus rising MMA star Luke de Saint Croix. Luke de Saint Croix, for those of you who don't know, between amateur and pro, he has 4 wins via submission, okay? He is a very talented submission grappler. He had a fight fallout on the last Fight League Atlantic event, so he decided last minute to join the Rogue Grappling event, and he wins his division, black and brown belt division, and came second in the absolute on short notice. Wasn't even training for the event.
Isn't he just a purple belt too? I don't want to say just a purple belt, but like, isn't he?
He may be. I believe he was awarded his brown belt, but if not, someone tie that brown belt on him.
Yeah, seriously, because if you're clearing through brown and black belt divisions, that says something exactly. Those Tower 1 guys work hard, man.
Oh man, and you can hear a steady stream of communication from the head of Tower 1, UFC veteran Gavin Tucker in the corner.
Gavin giving really good specific information here. We can hear him just off the side of the table, shouting to his athlete. Both guys looking heavy on the collar ties, just trying to wear each other out a little bit, which is smart. Nice jumping attack there.
That's a classic Luke de Saint Croix explosivity attack too.
Yes.
The jumping, the submissions, being very active.
Look at that high guard.
You know, for those of you who don't know about Nick Lauder, though, very, very talented submission grappler. He doesn't compete a lot, but he comes from a high-end athletic background. He played university football for Acadia University and Mount Allison, and he was part of the 2013 Loney Bowl winning team, known for attention to detail and violent intensity, and that is how he grapples.
Yeah. Also recently won gold at the East Coast Grappling Fall No Gi Open, so he's no slouch. He's been active competing, so and the people that have gone up against him have certainly been challenged.
But he's got a tall task right now. Luke de St. Croix is, in my opinion, one of the best grapplers on the East Coast. Premier grappler.
Nick doing a good job of just keeping square, avoiding those attacks, trying to get the guard back down on his hips. That's the key here. When you have someone riding that guard, you got to shuffle those shoulders and really look to try to get your back up straight and get your posture and avoid those attacks. Otherwise, you see this, those triangle attack attempts, arm lock attempts, that high guard becomes a real problem.
You know, this is definitely a better place for Nick Lauder to be. You know, he's very good at imposing his will, and being stuck in a guard doesn't play into that. So he's going to look to get Luke on his back and pass the guard.
Yeah, look for a minimum half guard, something like that, where he can really start getting chest to chest and putting pressure.
You know, something that could happen is if Luke jumps a guillotine, Nick has a very dangerous Von Flu. I would look for that to be something if he's able to, if he finds himself in the position with Luke jumping a guillotine.
Yeah, both guys doing a great job of pummeling inside. They just nonstop, and that is exhausting.
Yeah, but both of these guys have very, very high motors. Both incredible athletes.
Constant feeding for the inside position. Nick right now with head control, snap down attempt. Maybe he's looking to try to shoot in on the hips and get some type of reaction.
You know, Nick very undeterred by any sort of pressure so far. You know, Luke has thrown a lot at him, and it's only been 3.5 minutes. And, you know, a lot of grapplers will see that much pressure and they might fold. Not Nick Lauder.
No, both guys working heavy on posture and just looking for inside position. And neither backing down. It's forward pressure from both.
That was a great reaction by Luke. If you missed that, Lauder went for kind of a foot sweep and just make him think, and Luke almost grabbed that leg.
Oh, gets on the neck. Points aren't active yet, though. So now we get to see Nick on his back and see what he can work off of this here.
Still very composed. You know, he's probably going to look to wrestle up. That's again his bread and butter. But you know, if you're Luke, presents a good opportunity for you to maybe pass the guard and put him in a position he doesn't like to be in.
Yeah, and in about 40 seconds, he can start racking up points. So he might just be chilling here for the first few seconds, knowing that he can wait until the points start to really get ahead of the match.
Yeah, and you know, Luke, very high IQ fighter. Right? You have to assume that's part of the game plan. Is once points come into effect, store some points, make your opponent make bad decisions to regain what they lost.
Exactly. Now he hasn't been fighting for posture too much yet. I don't know what he's looking to do to pass. He seems to be content just chilling in Nick's guard for now. Working for inside. There he goes. Now he's looking to stand up. And that could be a coincidence with the points coming on very soon. Points are active now.
And you see Luke looking to tie up those legs.
Yeah. Nice pass around.
Oh, nice, and a great wrestle up by Lauder. You know, this is a dangerous place for Nick Lauder to be, because Luke has an amazing front headlock game.
Yeah, you can tell he's very comfortable here working it. Constant snap downs, transitions to the back. He's going to get that takedown.
And that's points for Luke de St. Croix.
Yeah. He is tenacious, man. He works hard. That was constant attacks, constant head snap pressure to secure the takedown.
And, you know, Nick Lauder is a very high activity grappler, so to be able to outpace him for this long really shows you how athletic and how high pressure Luke really is.
Yeah, and I think that's part of that Tower 1 camp, right?
Oh, yeah, certainly.
They're known for very high pace, very, very high intensity, but extremely technical too.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to be a boring fighter if you're at Tower 1.
That is very true.
I think that's on the sign-up waiver.
Now, knowing Nick a little bit, what do you think his plan is from here?
So Nick is going to look to try to wrestle up here. His bread and butter is that wrestling, that half guard to get up, or that octopus style guard if there's a hip switch on the half guard.
Okay.
He is going to be looking to get up. I think for Luke, the key to success is keeping his shoulders to the mat.
Yeah.
For Nick, it's finding that opportunity to get, you know, your hips above their head and start to get up.
Nick doing a good job staying on his side here. Looks like he has the knee shield in place. He's just trying to find some way to get some type of control and off balance. But Luke is good, keeping a low hip here.
I think Luke's realized that wrestling Nick is very hard. So
Yeah.
keeping his butt on the ground is where he's gonna have most of his success.
Yeah, and that's why he's content just kind of chilling on the knees and putting some forward pressure so that Nick doesn't really have the chance to get those hips out and wrestle up. There he goes.
It's very impressive from Nick Lauder to be able to do this with someone as good as Lucas St. Clair. Although Luke is getting the better on points, kind of exposing these transitions, like we said, making him make decisions that he can capitalize on.
And he did a great job there securing the mount. Back to the quarter mount, but that doesn't seem to phase him at all. He's just content being on top and putting weight on him. Now that he's up 14-0, he can ride this out. He's got 2.5 minutes left, and really the onus is on Nick to try to get back up on top and make something happen.
And we're going to have a referee reset just to keep these very active grapplers from spilling into the crowd.
Yeah. Both guys put in a ton of work already. This has been a very active match. Here we go. We see Nick, nice, able to regain guard after being in such a detrimental position.
Luke's doing something very good. As soon as Nick separates his hips and starts to get out, Luke is doing a good job at scooping a knee, pulling it back in, kind of keeping a half guard, keeping a leg stapled and forcing a half guard.
Yeah. Almost able to do it again.
Are we going to see a leg lock attempt?
Great job coming up on top of Nick.
All right, now Nick Lauder has time to work.
Yeah.
Stuck in the guard.
Luke was smart to close up the guard there.
Looks like we have a blood stoppage right now. This will happen in very forward heavy grapplers. They're going to kind of you might get a stray elbow or head-on-head collision.
They happen even in training.
Between MMA and football, I don't think blood bothers either of these guys very much.
Training last week, I bit my tongue something awful. I got kneed in the jaw, and I was drinking blood. It happens.
Yeah, it's all part of the game. And
it is part of the game.
Luke has been involved in some violent fights and training in his day, and Lauder has been involved in some violent sports in his day. So I don't think a little bit of blood, they're going to brush themselves off and get right back to the action.
Jump right back in.
Yeah. This is an interesting part about the sport, blood stoppage. Both guys have to clean themselves off, then we start back up.
There's blood all down the neck of Luke.
And we'll resume action. Little blood can't stop these guys.
No, they're right back into it.
Nick really has to make a Hail Mary happen here. He's down on points. He's got to make something happen by getting out of this guard.
Legs are down on the hips now. That's good for Nick. Great job standing up. Wasn't able to open up the guard. Luke is probably going to do everything he can to keep it close for the next minute to secure the victory.
Looks like he's still hunting submissions, though. If the opportunity presents itself, I'm sure he'll take it. Look at the strength from Nick Lauder there.
Nice. Was able to open up the guard.
1 minute left.
So we're in the final minute, folks. We'll see if Nick's going to be able to make some magic happen or if Luke's going to be able to hold on and secure the victory. Luke also, you never know, could be throwing up a Hail Mary submission of his own here at the end just to make the statement.
Yeah, well, like we said, Tower 1 guys are never content with just decisions,
Never
right?
content with just decisions, no.
This has got to be the most high-paced match we've seen tonight.
Yeah, the last match was a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah, it was.
The Peter match was...
Yeah, true. These two guys are going at it,
Yeah. No, there hasn't been any quit or stop.
No.
Nick's doing a great job of consistently standing up, trying to get the guard open. Let's see if he jumps on the leg or does something crazy at the end.
He's got to look to pass here. With 15 seconds left, he needs a Hail Mary. 10 seconds left in the bout.
Yeah, it looks like Luke's going to be able to secure the victory, even though he ends up in an unfavorable position at the end.
A fantastic match by two extremely athletic grapplers.
Great match between these two.
And we'll send it back to Jeremy Hull for the official decision.
Winner by points, Luke St. Clair!
Great match, man. Great match, Nick.
And as they sanitize the mats from that match's blood stoppage, you know, what do we think going forward when we're looking at this this fight card? What do we think is going to be the biggest fight of the night?
Honestly, I think in terms of pacing, Alexy versus Nick LeBlanc might be the one to watch. Both guys sitting at around, what, 150 pounds, 165?
About that. So it's the minus 145. So once they rehydrate.
Yeah, once they
Yeah.
rehydrate, that's probably what they're sitting around.
Yeah.
And I imagine Nick is known for an infinite gas tank. Alexy is known for incredibly high-paced matches. That one, to me, is the one I'm genuinely excited to see in terms of being a viewer and lover of the sport.
Yeah. See what I'm excited for? Opposite end of the spectrum. Marc Fortner versus Paolo McNeil. These two big men. You know, I always say this with this division, but I truly mean it. I always want to be in the front row. I don't want to be in the front row with these two. We got great wrestling, great judo. Someone is getting thrown or taken down, and if you are in the front row, you might be a casualty.
Exactly. Two huge boys.
You-
Those are always fun matches. They're always fun matches.
Oh, truthfully. And you know what? We've already been treated to so much tonight. To think we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches, including 3 title fights and 2 contenders left to be named.
It's incredible.
What? Grappling fans, if you're not already watching all of these, if you're not tuning in, you should start right now. We don't have a better product on the East Coast grappling wise than the Breakthrough Grappling Series.
No, happy to be here. This is a great event. And like you said, a couple championship matches still remain. So that's, yeah, it's only going to get better. And we've had some banger matches already. They're still just cleaning off the mats there, folks, for anyone wondering what's going on. Just trying to make sure things are sanitary and the blood from the last match is all cleaned up.
And for the folks at home, in just a few matches, while my wonderful commentating co-host Alex has to go corner 2 championship bout fighters, we will have a surprise commentator for the end of the card.
Should be exciting.
So place your bets on who that will be. I can promise you there will be fireworks behind the booth. All right, as we turn it back over to Jeremy, the action will resume shortly.
Yo. A lot of rappers try approaching the ohm in my poem, so punishing people while I'm up at the podium. Pharaoh folding them like wash clothes again. I'm a vulture when the flow go choke again. Broke, I leave most of them. Slow, I keep my motion there. Eye on the prize. Silence the vibes with lyrics making scientists cry. Making the secret society expose they purchase. Making them unleash info. Explode my soul.
Tonight's next contest is the #1 contenders match in the men's 220-pound division. First, representing Citadel in Quebec City, Quebec. Please welcome back Jean-Sébastien Dion Roy. His opponent, competing out of 374 mixed martial arts in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Andrew McRae.
All right, we welcome both these athletes back to the mat. This should be fun. We have a former professional athlete looking for his first title shot, taking on someone looking for their next title shot.
This is an exciting match, to be honest. 2 very large guys and both extremely skilled in jiu-jitsu. This is fun.
Looking at the size of these two, it kind of makes me wonder how I was in 220.
Yeah, it's a big boy division, man.
Yeah. Stepping on the scale now versus looking at these two guys, I'm thinking that their 220s are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JS already on top, putting pressure, trying to step over that leg. Nice. He was able to clear one of the legs off. Now he's looking to pass.
He's so methodical with his passing. You're right. He's so talented. Andrew has to do Andrew has to do everything he can to kind of frame and keep him away from passing completely.
Yeah, absolutely. JS is doing a great job putting pressure on top. He's going to take his time and then just ride this out. There we go. Now he's got chest to chest. Great job by Andrew making some space. Goes back to the knee shield.
JS doing a good job kind of high head camping here. You know, I mean, making it the chest over chest pressure is kind of making this suck for Andrew.
Yeah.
And if he does get chest to chest in the half guard, it becomes a bad day.
I like to see Andrew fighting for that firearm there. That's important. If JS is able to close that space and get across space, that's when problems start to happen for Andrew.
Andrew's always very composed down there. He knows what it's like to be underneath heavy grapplers.
Yeah.
The 220 plus title challenger tonight is his main training partner. So he knows what it's like to be under heavy grapplers.
JS trying to kill that. There he goes. Was able to get around that knee shield back into half guard. Hasn't been able to do much with it though. He's just kind of camping out, trying to keep pressure. Andrew's recovered a few times to get that knee shield back, but they've been back and forth there about 2 times now.
Well, JS is aware of the situation, right? There's 8 minutes left. He knows that he can kind of cook him here. He knows that as long as he doesn't make any big mistakes from the position, he's in a dominant one. So he's content with letting Andrew kind of burn himself out.
Yeah.
And now he has shoulder. He has a crossface on.
Pummeled that foot over the back. Now he's really going to start separating.
You can see how much pressure is there. And he got a pressure tap from on Corbin Levi in the last match. So let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, that instep is what I was looking for earlier. I forget what match it was, but that instep just makes so much the pressure so much worse.
Passes into half guard. He's about to get into mount here, it looks like. Passes heavy into mount. And now he's looking to hike the arm up. He wants the head and arm choke, I think.
Yeah, this is surgical.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect any less from John Sebastian.
Andrew needs to get his elbows inside because right now it's just JS pressuring him. Looking for a mother's milk, maybe?
Mother's milk, or maybe he's trying to threaten a potential triangle. I'm not sure what he's looking for there.
Oh, that looks painful.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah. He does have a crazy amount of pressure in that drive, so maybe even gets the pressure tap here.
That's going to be so uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah. You can see Andrew trying to peel that shoulder off his face.
Yeah. His arms are down on the hip, but he's really got to come across the frame underneath. He's got to use that left arm to get down on the hip. That just looks horrible. That's a big man driving all his weight through to your neck and your jaw.
Yeah, and when that much weight's on your face, it really makes you struggle because you're trying to alleviate pressure on your jaw and neck. You're trying to alleviate pressure on your hips. It really splits your resources.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, splitting resources. And right now we see Andrew struggling in this position. His hips are pretty isolated. Upper body's pinned to the ground. JS is looking to peel the elbows a bit. Very slow and methodical. I love this style of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it really shows dominance, and it really forces your opponent to make bad decisions, right? Because Andrew really needs to find a way to reverse this position. He needs to maybe step over, scoop the foot, go back to half guard, or maybe he can try to rotate completely, but then gives up his back.
And that's the dilemmas these guys that are so well versed in the mount that they put you in. They make it suck for you to the point where you turn and you end up either, like you said, giving up back or giving up an arm. It just makes it horrible for the person on the bottom to try to survive. And we're seeing that here. High mount by Jean Sebastian. Pulling on the head. He might be looking for some type of compression submission just from the pressure of the mount. Yeah. And he's pulling on the head at the same time.
This is a bad position for Andrew because if he extends one of his arms to try to make something happen here, try to maybe frame off, it could easily get pushed across the center line, and then it becomes an armbar attempt, maybe a head and arm choke. It becomes a lot of things. And it looks like JS might be looking for an S mount of some sort too.
Very possible, but Andrew did a good job of trying to turn to make some space there. He's got a frame on the hip. See if he can try to ride those hips back down to his. Because that's the key, right? If JS is able to keep the mount so high and keep those hips isolated on Andrew, he can flounder as much as he wants, but it's really not going to be helpful. We've seen more cross-face pressure there. This has got to suck to be on the bottom here.
And yeah, and he's really just kind of riding this out well. It kind of looks like he's looking to separate something now. Might go for some sort of, oh, it looks like he might take the back here if Andrew keeps rolling, but you know, you really want to be
JS is having his way right now.
He is. It's JS's game right now, and you know, Andrew's looking to survive, but Andrew needs to really start making something happen, looking to displace JS.
Yeah. Has the gift wrap. Now he's trying to pummel. He's going to go for that arm lock, most likely.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be an armbar attempt here coming soon.
Yeah. He's just waiting for his opportunity. Oh, rolls to the back.
JS is a very smart grappler, too. He won't take any big chances. He just wants a submission.
Yeah. Slow, methodical submission. Can't tell. Maybe you could see. Does he have the body triangle?
It looks like he has a thigh ride right now.
Yeah.
Yep, he has a thigh ride right now, just looking for control. He's up on points, so he's not too worried about getting the hooks in.
Not thigh ride being the new meta.
Yep, now he has the hook in, and he'll get 4 points.
Yeah.
Goes straight back to the thigh ride.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what I would expect out of a higher level grappler. That thigh ride just gives you a lot more opportunity to attack.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to get out of. Arguably more dominant than having 2 hooks in.
Yeah, well, you have full control over their lag too, and he switches to a body lock. Looks like he's going to come up kind of in a body lock,
pressure,
belly down.
That's
For
those that have never been there, trust us when we say that's
and jaw crank.
Yeah.
And he gets the tap.
Methodical control.
And it looks like JS Wah will be your next 220-pound title contender. An absolute clinic today.
Contender, Jean Sebastian Dion Roy. Jean Sebastian, this is your second time joining us out here on the East Coast. You got very close last time. I think you were a little disappointed. Do you want to tell me about, was this maybe a little bit of unfinished business for you?
Yeah, of course. I lost my first match here, so I wanted to have another shot at the belt. So I needed to win this, so it was first step. And then I will be happy to highlight maybe another main event and fight for the belt again, and we'll see.
Well, your grappling pedigree is well known outside of the region. Do you have any words for the champion moving forward?
Not really. Like, I just want to have matches and keep winning and fix what's not going well and try to be better every time and face anyone that the opportunity will be good, you know? Like, I'm happy, like, I have so many matches, so now it's just another opportunity. I feel I can have a match heavyweight, 220, I don't mind.
Well, it looks like a rough time under that pressure, but it is an absolute pleasure watching you work, sir. Congratulations. Jean-Sébastien Dionnois!
All right, and JS Wah will be your next 220-pound title contender for a vacant 220-pound title. You know, he had dropped a very tightly contested match to former champion Rory Gillis, and now he's earned his way back. And up next, we're going to have a great match between Andrea Bradshaw and Tori Smith.
I'm a machine when I do it. If I get the lean when I do it.
Tonight's next contest is the #1 contenders match in the women's superweight division. First, fighting out of 374 mixed martial arts in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Please welcome back Andrea Bradshaw. And her opponent, a woman who needs no introduction at the Breakthrough Grappling Series, fighting out of Westside MXT in St. John, New Brunswick. Please welcome back Tori Smith.
All right, folks. So this will determine who is next in line for the 145-pound women's title, the under 145-pound women's title.
You know, Tori's going to be coming out strong here.
All right, so both of these women have just won a very dominant match, okay? And they have very different styles. Now, you have to assume, though, with Tori and Vicky being brown belts in judo, Andrea now has kind of a game plan to work against this style of grappler.
Yeah, she has a little bit of a game plan, understands the threats, and obviously isn't phased if she gets taken down, as we saw in her match against Vicky, right?
No, it seems like she has a plan. If she gets taken down, just recover, guard, and fight. She doesn't waver. She doesn't bend under pressure, and that's very impressive.
And I think, to be honest, getting taken down like that gives you a hint of confidence to be a little bit more aggressive, because you lose that fear. You're like, oh, okay, it happened, so what, right?
Yeah, and if you look at size difference, Andrea definitely is the smaller grappler in this bracket. You know, it's the plus 145 women's division, and you know, when you're fighting people who might be bigger than you, more physically strong than you, you have to have a crafty game plan. And she's doing a really good job kind of off balancing them with those Russian ties. And when she's in her guard, she's very, very effective. And that neutralizes that size.
She's got a great arm drag, too. She almost hit it again there. She's been looking for it consistently. I think if she keeps working it, she's going to see success.
Yeah, she's doing a good job using speed to beat strength.
Very technical grappler. Love to see it. I hope we get to see more of her in the coming events.
You know, I don't think she's going anywhere after performances like this tonight. And she's got great hand fighting.
Beautiful again.
Yeah.
Man, she's getting so close to those back takes off those arm drags, and like you said, those Russian ties, consistent with them. Again, no fear from her either. She seems very comfortable on her feet.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like some sort of roll. Oh, looks like backside 50-50 attempt. Oh, but Tori's able to get the knee line out of there. Oh, and an armbar attempt. Wow, these transitions are great. Can she separate Tori's hands? Tori's doing everything she can to keep that arm together.
Attack attempt there.
Here, Andrea, maybe come back up on top, and you know,
difficult. Tori's got her head. Looks like she's got her head at least trapped with her legs. Tori's doing everything she can.
Oh, she gets the tap. Andrea Bradshaw will be your next plus 145-pound championship contender.
Amazing.
Bradshaw! Andrea, welcome to Breakthrough Grappling Series. I know you've got some accolades outside of the region. Why was it important for you to show up here, close to your home tonight?
Just because the rest of my team was competing and you guys had some openings, so I jumped in on it.
Speaking of jumping on things, both times you kind of lost position and then jumped on a really fast arm bar. Was that part of your preparation? Is it a consistent part of your preparation?
Yeah, I mean, I knew both of these girls are really good at judo, and I'm not, so I was prepared to get taken down and fight from the ground.
Well, it was an impressive game plan. Any words for the champion moving forward?
No. I didn't even know I was going to be in this weight division, so I'm a little out of my comfort zone, but...
Well, you look fantastic. Congratulations. I look forward to watching you compete again. Andrea Bradshaw!
All right, folks, I said that we had a special guest commentator, and that is Hollywood Pete Reedley. Will be on the commentary booth for the next 4 matches, including the title fights. Get ready to hear his takes on these fights coming up soon.
Tonight's next matchup is a men's heavyweight super fight. First, representing Citadel in Quebec City, Quebec, please welcome back Maxime Gauthier. His opponent, representing Absolute BJJ and Alliance Lucas Laprie out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. Please welcome Tiger Levi.
All right, folks. Now, I always say I want that front row seat, but against these two, I'm not sure. Now, with Hollywood Pete Reedley in the booth, who just came off of a tightly contested matchup, getting the win in one of the highest paced matches of the night, I want to hear your take on what this is going to be.
These are some big fellas. This should be a high impact match on these mats.
Now, Tiger, a newcomer to the Breakthrough Grappling Series, but not necessarily a newcomer to the East Coast scene. You know, he has a gold medalist. Oh, and Maxime right away. Whoa. All right, and turns out me not wanting the front row seat doesn't matter, as I almost got involved in the action there. All right, that was horrifying. So, Maxime Gauthier, one of the more aggressive grapplers we've seen on the Breakthrough Grappling Series, with wins over Thomas Mahoney, and making his statement here. You got to assume that if he wins this, he's going to want a shot at the next bracket.
He's coming through with lots of aggression, just like he has in his past matches. Funny that you mentioned that. That match with Thomas Mahoney last year, he showed his pure, brutal strength throwing Thomas Mahoney across the mat, and it looks like he's looking to do the same thing here tonight.
Yeah, he is so physically dominant, and, you know, he just collects international medals at multiple ADCC and IBJJF gold, silver, bronze, you know, and with Tiger is a very talented athlete in his own right, though, and you're seeing that. He hasn't been taken down yet. Good wrestling, good base, and Maxime has to pull guard. It's, let's see how Tiger defends. Looks like he pulls into a backside 50-50, a heel hook attempt. Let's see where it goes. Can he get this straight ankle lock? Let's see where it goes. And Tiger taps to the straight ankle. Very multifaceted, and he signals for the belt. I think he wants a shot at that belt that he sees on the table.
I'm not going to tell him no.
Your winner by footlock, Maxime Gauthier.
All right, we saw Maxime signal for the belt there. Peter, do you think he's earned a shot into that bracket?
I want to see it. His aggression in all of his matches just shows how much of an entertainer he is. So I'm not going to tell him no.
You got to assume with the 220-plus belt being on the table tonight, the winner of that has got to have his eyes on one Maxime Gauthier.
Absolutely. He seems like the type of guy that you could just throw a title shot into and people would be seated here.
Yeah, I think, honestly, he's one that people are going to come to this venue to see. And like I said before, I want to see him. I don't know if I want to be in the front row. All right, turning this over back to Jeremy Hall for the fighter announcements. A little bit of technical difficulty here. So looking at the next the next fight up, we have Alexy Cloutier versus Nicolas LeBlanc for the 145-pound title. Now, Peter, you've competed in this division. What is your take on these fights?
This will be a neck and neck race, I feel. I've competed in brackets with both of them. I haven't faced Cloutier myself, but I have faced LeBlanc. And he is just a pressure fighter who's just relentless and precise. And Cloutier on the other side has smothering pressure. So let's see how it goes today.
All right, looks like we have the fighters ready to enter the mat space. You know, I'm excited for this. One fighter coming down from Quebec earned a title shot, wants to take that belt home, and another fighter, the hometown hero, wants to keep that belt around his waist. We are in for a treat.
She fill my mind up with ideas. I'm the highest in the room. Hope I make it out of here. She saw my eyes, she know I'm home. I see some things that you might fear. I'm doing a show, I'll be back soon.
Tonight's next match is for the Breakthrough Grappling Series 145-pound championship title. First, please welcome the challenger, fighting out of Nordic Fight Club and Evolution Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Quebec City, Quebec, Alexy Cloutier. His opponent, he is the reigning, defending Breakthrough Grappling Series 145-pound champion, representing Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, Nicolas LeBlanc.
All right, as we get started, Alexy looks to make this 3-0 for the fighters from Quebec, and Nicolas looks to retain his belt for the hometown side. I love this dynamic of these fighters traveling into the Breakthrough Grappling Series. You know, it makes it really dynamic. What do you think, Peter?
Absolutely. When fighters from around travel into the Maritimes to mix up the divisions here in Breakthrough Grappling Series, we tend to see new looks, and everybody raises their skill levels all together when fighters from outside join the mix.
True. And this fighter is really heavy on the head like he has been in the past. We saw him in the last Breakthrough Grappling Series event win this title shot. And, you know, he really looked for a lot of snap downs, head pressure. I think that comes from a lot of MMA experience, too. You know, he holds a title in Fight Quest MMA in Quebec. He's a 135-pound champion. He won the belt by rear naked choke. So he does have that classic MMA-style pressure where the current champion, Nicolas LeBlanc, is a classic jiu-jitsu fighter. You know, he really looks to, like, can play out of his guard. If he's on top, he's on top. He competes in a very much just jiu-jitsu sense. So it's a really cool dynamic of MMA jiu-jitsu versus jiu-jitsu.
And that's always an interesting look here. And from watching these fighters' past matches at Breakthrough Grappling Series, they really tend to use their pressure as their biggest weapon. And it seems like the way that they're tied up right now, it's just who's going to give first and whose pressure is going to crack through and give them the edge in this matchup.
Right. And, you know, both these fighters kind of looking like they're feeling each other out right now. You don't want to be the guy who gives something up first, makes a mistake, and ends up in a bad position. And 10 minutes, a lot of time to work with.
Right. We see both fighters trying to be super diligent. We're already over a minute and a half in and not much action other than tying up. But it's just, again, the pressure, who's going to break through first.
Alexy, you know, that right hand has been absolutely hugging the head. That collar tie has looked heavy this whole time, and that weighs on you, right? For those of you who don't know, when you're constantly getting collar tied, you're constantly getting your pressure broken, it does take a toll on you, your strength-wise, right? It can really affect your posture, and it kind of can make you react differently. If you're getting pulled down, you have to push back up. It can open up a lot of things by way of single legs and double legs.
It seems like they're both really picking up the pace here. It seems like they're both getting a bit frustrated with each other's grips, and Alexy seems to be trying to push the pace here a little bit.
Yeah, and with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, roughly, you kind of wonder who's going to break first here, because they're feeling each other out. They both look like they're mercy gripping when they grab each other's hands, and there's some action. Fantastic duck under. Look at that. Now you're seeing Alexy go to work, and John is it? Oh, he
wow.
seems to have a guillotine. Oh, John has just turned it into a reversal.
There he is.
You know, John, although he is the champ, he's not super active, so people don't get to see him a lot, but he is a very active, or he is a very diligent grappler. He trains constantly. He's always in the room with the Quantum team, and he isn't a slouch. You're going to see him be a very big task for Alexy tonight.
Absolutely, and we rarely saw Alexy on his back in his run to the title, so it's interesting to see how he'll react to this pressure from Nicholas. Working for that guillotine here.
True. And apologies to the champ, Nicholas LeBlanc. I accidentally called him John, who's his brother, who's an amazing grappler in his own right. So shout out to John. But right now, Nicholas is looking to pass the guard.
This is excellent work from Nicholas here. He's looking to pressure cook his way past the guard of Alexy, which is no easy task.
No. And you know what you have to assume is a big help here is, oh, he looks like he might knee cut through that. Oh, and Alexy doing a good job getting back to his feet with no points in effect yet. You know, that was a chance that Alexy could take, and now he's going to look to be a little bit more diligent because in 1 minute, points are in effect, and that would have costed him.
Yeah, and in an event where the fight continues as it is, that could make the difference in a decision where we end 0-0.
True, very true. Now, I wonder how their activity is going to get when you kind of, when you allow points to be in effect here, because does that make you want to go for the takedown more? Does it make you more conservative? You know, do you take risks? Do you not take risks? That all plays into your psyche when you're grappling.
I anticipate seeing a change in strategy from the two the second the points are in effect.
You know, so much IQ in the corners. You have J.S. Waugh cornering Alexy Cloutier. You have Jean LeBlanc and Alex McKinnon in the corner of Nicholas LeBlanc. You know, so you're getting a steady stream of information to both these grapplers. And there's all around you have just talent on the mats right now. Now, Peter, from the perspective of someone who might not be like a heavy pressure wrestler like these two seem to be, what would you like to see them do if they end up like on bottom or in transition? Kind of what would your game plan here be?
The thing is here, I wouldn't mind seeing one of them pull guard and see what they can do working from the bottom, because it seems like they're both really, really focused on getting that top position. But it'd be nice to see them switch it up and see how they go when they go low.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, as someone in this division, do you think that kind of being on bottom with this, if you're getting frustrated in the stand-up game, do you think that the first person to kind of pull and switch up has an advantage or a disadvantage? Oh, and a nice foot sweep attempt by Nicholas LeBlanc. Now we're getting some more chances here with the foot sweeps and some duck unders, but you know, they're still back in that mercy grip on the hand, neither giving each other too much.
And we saw that trip attempt as soon as points were in effect, so it seems like the champ LeBlanc has a bit of urgency in his actions right now.
Yeah, well, he's a high IQ grappler, right? Like we often forget that there's so much strategy that goes into jiu-jitsu, right? And especially if you're not someone who's out there all the time grappling, competing under different rule sets. But they know the rule set. It's quite simple. 5 minutes, no points, and 5 minutes IBJJF points. It's a very common rule set as far as points go. And they know what they can do in those 5 minutes. But they also know that if they mess up, they're down on points with less than half the match to go.
It seems like Cloutier is looking for that duck under there, and Nicholas's straight arm is just keeping him at bay.
Yeah, it seems to be really frustrating Cloutier. Nicholas looking to kind of step in. You know, Quantum BJJ, where he hails from, does have a good judo background with some of their athletes being judo athletes. So you've got to wonder if that's been incorporated. And a double leg. And that's at least 2 points by Alexy. Let's see if he can pass the guard.
Good frames there.
That is the explosivity of Alexy that makes his grappling style so hard to deal with. It's his true X factor.
We are over 2/3 through this match, and we finally see some points on the board with Alexy Cloutier up 2-0, and it seems like Nicholas is trying to fight out of this position here.
Yeah, no, so Turtle is a guard, right? So you can play out a Turtle, but the trouble with Turtle is that if you lose Turtle, like he just got, it looks like he might get his back taken. Anywhere you go that isn't up, you lose points.
Absolutely, and when somebody's weighing on your back in a turtle position, it drains you, and it seems like he's using that really, really well to try to mount the back of Nicholas LeBlanc.
And Alexy has one hook in, so he does have good position here, where it's going to be interesting if he spiral rides or looks to step over to kind of get that back. But 2 minutes and 30 seconds, only 2-point lead. It is anyone's game.
Neck and neck right now.
You can see Alexy trying to step over, get that other hook in. You know, he gives up the hook to go for control, and that might not be a bad idea.
Fish that right hook in. Let's see if he can finish with the left.
If you're John, you're going to want to look to kind of turn into him, try to get some position back here.
If you're Alexy here, it's almost worth it to just keep smothering him with this pressure and take your points rather than let him have an explosive opportunity.
The onus is on Nicholas right now. He's down by 2. It's his belt currently. And is he going to be pressured into a 2-point loss? Because he doesn't want that. He needs to retain his belt in his head. And right now he's defending an arm lock, it seems like. That's some craftiness from Alexy, but Nicholas is crafty in his own right. And with 1 minute and 30 seconds, I think you might see some Hail Mary attempts here.
Absolutely. We're about to see what our champion is made of.
Smothering pressure by Alexy, though. It's so hard to deal with him kind of like on top of you from anywhere, it seems.
Absolutely. It seems like Cloutier is more than content with crunching that head down and just riding here, riding the match out. But he is fishing for that other hook still. So,
what a very violent way to control the back too.
LeBlanc looking for the feet to get to his feet.
And with 1 minute left, can Alexy hold on to this? Cloutier known for impressive control, relying on that to bring him to the home stretch of this title. And it looks like he may have the back here.
He's fishing for it. He wants those points to secure his win.
30 seconds left, folks. This is where you see what you're made of. Nicholas LeBlanc doing everything he can. His brother John in the corner, giving him information with Coach Alex McKinnon. And you see
fixing the clock.
And a great pass, but with 0 seconds on the clock, Alexy Cloutier will be your new champion of the 145-pound division. As we turn it over to Jeremy Hull to make the official decision, we say congratulations to Alexy Cloutier.
Your winner by points and new breakthrough grappling series champion, Alexy Cloutier. Alexy, that's okay. It's a long trip down from Quebec. You've made it twice. Tell me, how does it feel to win a title for your efforts?
It's pretty nice. The organization is awesome. I would like to thank Max and Jean-Sébastien. They come here with me. I told them I was coming for a title fight, and they said, okay, so let's register. And we come here by 3. So very awesome. I wanted to have the submission, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can get it. So 2-0, it's okay for me.
Well, your game is characterized by relentless pressure, I know firsthand. Tell me, you didn't know anything about your opponent, I presume. How do you prepare for something like that?
Last couple of weeks, I was just preparing for an MMA fight. I fought on October 25th, and then I felt sick after this. I thought I trained like 3 times before this this final match. So I'm glad I'm healthy now and it's okay. I have the belt.
Well, you looked fantastic, and I do have to ask, the last time you were here, you used your celebration speech to ask for help after your car broke down. What do you have to say about maritime hospitality?
It's pretty nice. I love you, East Coast. Thank you.
Well, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, Alexy Cloutier! Great work, man.
We move from one title fight to the next. Up next, we have a rematch of the qualifier. We have Chad Fleck and Steve Clement fighting in a repeat of their qualifying match. The belt for the 200-pound division was vacated by champion Tyler Jennings, meaning these two are going to run it back and fight for their chance to be not the qualifier this time, but the title holder themselves. Coming right up, an explosive, exciting match.
Tonight's next match is for the vacant Breakthrough Grappling Series 200-pound title and the co-main event of the evening. First, representing Quantum Jiu-Jitsu in Moncton, New Brunswick, please welcome Stephen Clement. And representing the Halifax Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Society and Mavericks Jiu-Jitsu in Halifax, Nova Scotia, please welcome Chad Fleck.
All right, folks, as we start this, you know what's interesting about this? This is first team all storyline. Not only are they rematching, not only are they fighting for a vacant belt, not just the title qualifier. In the bracket that they first faced off in the final of, Chad beat 2 of Steve's teammates on the way to that match, and Steve beat 2 of Chad's teammates on the way to the match. I couldn't write a better story than this, Peter.
Absolutely. It's kind of a miracle that the champion vacated the belt and left this as an opportunity for a vacant title bout, because there's not necessarily bad blood, but there's lots of storylines, like you said, going into this matchup.
Yeah, it truly becomes more than just grappling, right? When you have a match like this with as much as it means, Steve shoots the single and Chad immediately drops into his guard. All right, now this is where Chad is dangerous from, right? His butterfly half guard is his bread and butter, and we've seen it a lot on the Breakthrough Grappling Series, and it's won him a lot of things, including IBJJF golds, local golds, ADCC medals, etc.
These two fought a majority of their first matchup in that last bracket in this similar position. Let's see if Chad's improved or added any new wrinkles to his game. to try to get a finish here in this position.
Yeah, and the onus really, I think, is on Steve, too, because in this position, Chad was able to eke out the decision win. So Steve knows that if he sits there and just kind of pressures, it might not go his way.
It's likely that we'll see a new sense of urgency from Steven.
You know, what's in both of these guys' minds is how dangerous these guys are from everywhere. You know, a black belt, Stephen Clement, a brown belt, Chad Fleck, they both have so much in their bag. And Chad looks to invert into the legs.
Steve looking to pressure through.
Great job by Steve kind of shutting that down because that is where Chad is dangerous. Oh, and Steve is doing a good job. He could be passing the guard here. You know, he doesn't have Steve's feet crossed here, so Steve could recover to butterfly guard, which he does. You know, you can kind of see them analyzing each other now. This is such a high IQ match. I've been waiting for this one all day. No. All right, looks like we have a... oh, I was going to say, looks like we might have some passing happening, but we go back and we're in this position. Pete, what do you think is going through your mind as a grappler who's faced them before? And a sweep.
Well, Chad is just ridiculous with the pressure, and when he's not pressuring you, he tends to pinpoint an attack in the blink of an eye.
True. Now, this is something we didn't get to see in their last match a lot, was Chad passing on Steve's guard. So I wonder what this looks like. This is kind of a reversal of what we saw before.
Absolutely. These are two supercomputers of competitors. They're just downloading each other's information and trying to implement it back upon their opponent.
Now Steve sits up for a butterfly guard. Now he has a 2-on-1 in the arm. He might be looking for, oh, he stands up. And again, we're reversing position. Now points aren't in effect though. So they can kind of go back and forth like this to no consequence.
Absolutely. I see Chad looking to do most of his work in the no points section of this match, just so that in case Clement seems to explode and pass in any way, he won't have to suffer the consequences of being down on the points.
Steve kind of advancing right now, you know, with where Steve is right now over top that top leg, Chad is not in a great position, and he passes the guard. Now this is where we get to see what these competitors are made of, because we didn't really see much passing of the guard last time.
Absolutely. This is a much more dynamic match than it was last time.
Truly, they've definitely prepared in different ways. You know, Steve has definitely realized that the legs are a big factor, that he can't get caught up in them, and he needs to pass the guard. Now Steve looks to step over, and Chad rotates back in. Now, if you're Chad, what do you want to see? If you're Chad's corner, what do you want to see Chad do right now, Peter?
I'd likely call for the re-guard because that's where he does his best work. However, Chad can be dynamic in lots of different positions, so I'd like to see him get a bit creative here and see what he can pull off.
If you're Steve, a big key to victory here is, you know, this very violent top pressure, right? He is very talented with it. He has an MMA background. He has a very good grappling background, and a lot of it comes from this heavy front pressure.
Absolutely. He's going to want to stay past for the majority, or I should say the rest of this match, because this is where we haven't seen these two face off before, because Chad managed to keep Steve at bay in their last matchup, and we've already seen Steve improve and pass. Oh, and we see Chad roll under, looking for the guard again.
And he looks to re-guard. Oh, he's entering the legs. These two are starting a leg shootout, but right now Steve has, looks like he has some sort of bite on the knee line here. Not quite the same. Oh, and Steve gets the tap. Your new champion of the 200-pound division, Stephen Clement.
Oh, wow.
Sending it back to Jeremy Hull for the official decision.
Your winner by Texas Cloverleaf and new Breakthrough Grappling Series champion, Stephen Clement. Stephen, I was listening to the commentary during your match, and they were talking about how Chad took two of your teammates out and beat you in the first match. You got him in the rematch. How important was it for you to get that win back and take the title?
It was very important. I tried to play it off like it wasn't, but I mean, I've always wanted to be champion. Here I am.
Well, congratulations, sir. You certainly are. On top of that, it was clear that your game plan was pressure versus Chad's very typical game plan is often leg locks. but in the end, that's where you went. Tell me, was that anything you strategized?
I actually trained a lot into the leg locks, and I wanted to make it seem like I wasn't playing that right. But when I seen that the moment presented itself, I had to take it.
Well, it looked like very high-level jiu-jitsu. What do you have to say to the competitors who are going to come looking for that strap next?
Come and get it, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve and Clement. Congratulations, sir.
You gotta go to the you. Hey, yo, man. What's taking on so long, son? Calm down. Come on. Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. Cause I'll come and take your life away. Many
It's on mirror of the waves of Clement and summits to the verdant blaze. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the fjords and the ice-cold currents, brave and soar over new frontiers, slopes and saddles of a painting.
Tonight's final match is for the Breakthrough Grappling Series heavyweight title and the main event of the evening. First, representing 374 Mixed Martial Arts in Halifax, Nova Scotia, the challenger, Paolo McNeil. His opponent, fighting out of the pit in Oromocto, New Brunswick. Please welcome back the reigning, defending Breakthrough Grappling Series heavyweight champion, Marc Fortner.
Peter, I feel like I'm competing. The tension in this room has got me nervous.
Absolutely. This is as big as it gets with the heavyweight title on the line.
All right. And this is one of those matches. You have Paolo, who's so good in transition, so good with the top block position, going from armbar, triangle, etc., versus someone like Marc, who's such a deep judo bag and great stand-up. Paolo touts himself as a great wrestler, too, so I can't wait to see who gets who to the mat first.
Looks like Paulo's trying to wrestle here a bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fournier started to implement his judo skills if that deterred Paolo.
All right, looks like we're getting to the mat now. Paolo is ready to take the back. Can Paolo get the back here? He looks like he already has a choke on. Can't really see from this angle, but
could be over here. Oh, wow.
Oh, and Marc doing a good job at defending, turning into him, doing everything right. You hear Alex Millette in Paolo's corner saying, use it. And that's something Paolo is so good at, is when he's starting to lose something, he uses it as a transition.
Absolutely. Let's see how Paolo deals with this pressure. He didn't face much in his run to this title shot, so let's see how he reacts to this pressure from such a big guy in the champion in Fortner.
And Marc is known for that crushing pressure too, but Paolo doing a great job regarding. You know, Paolo is one of those big men who has such a dynamic guard too, and that's what makes him dangerous here. So I think Marc would be best served to get back to his feet and get out of that guard and maybe start to look to pass.
Absolutely. He's hunting for a leg here.
Yeah. You know, Marc coming from a gym like the Pit, they're super talented in the leg, so let's see how he battles this out.
He's hunting for that leg.
Looks like he has a bite on the heel, perhaps.
Tap.
And he gets a tap, and Paolo McNeil is your new 220-plus pound champion.
Lots of shakeup in the championship position here.
Paolo McNeil with a stellar run.
Your winner by heel hook and knee, Breakthrough Grappling Series heavyweight champion, Paolo McNeil. Paolo, I think of Fortner's game as being another one of those deep pressure games, but you came at him with a dynamic, explosive, heavy movement game for a big man. Tell me about your training and how you got there.
We do like pretty high pressure rounds, so I'm used to the intensity, but man, that guy's pressure. I tried to offset him a couple times. He's so heavy. He's so good at where his weight is at, so props to him. That was crazy.
But obviously moving a big man like that, getting under them, going for the legs, is that part of the game plan?
Oh yeah, like honestly, once he passed my half guard, I was like, okay, he's gonna lift his leg up underhook, so kind of just stuck to the game plan, and I got lucky with my shove a bit, so then I finished it through.
Well, you've beat the man, and now you are the man. Any words for those people who are coming gunning for that strap?
Come for it, but mind you, I will say I'm really heavy right now for my size, so my plan is to drop to 220, take the belt, drop to 200, and take that belt too. So, especially John Sebastian, you got my heel last time. I'll choke you out, buddy.
Well, a man with ambitious plans, ladies and gentlemen, Paolo McNeil. Congratulations, sir. Drive home safe, folks. Thank you for enjoying Breakthrough Grappling Series 12. Look for the next issue of Maritime Edit magazine, where you'll read my story about local mixed martial arts. Thank you very much.
All right, well, what a promo from now the champion, the new champion, Paolo McNeil. And you know what, Peter, for the folks at home, this looks a little bit bare because we had 3 belts up here earlier, and all 3 of them are going to new title holders.
There's lots of crazy mix-up tonight in the divisions here, and an ambitious call-out from Paolo McNeil to look for triple champ status here in the next few Breakthrough Grappling Series events.
You know, is that not just exactly what you want from a champion? He wins the belt, and as it's getting wrapped around his waist, he's already mad he doesn't have 2 more.
Yeah, he's thinking about the next 2 before he even gets the first one around.
You know, folks, what a fantastic night tonight of grappling. Not only did you have 3 belts change hands, not only did you have so many finishes, it feels like the electricity in this building is all the way up. Pete, what was your favorite moment of the night?
Other than my own match, I'd say it was the title fight here where we saw a title change here and the aggressive but passionate call out from Paolo McNeil.
Yeah, how can you beat that moment, right? You know, and I think overall that just shows you that the Breakthrough Grappling Series is not only the place to be for the best events, but the best fighters who want to call everyone out, be here, and win. All the winners come to the Breakthrough Grappling Series. So folks, grapplers, if you're a winner, get to the Breakthrough Grappling Series and get on the mats. Have a great night, folks. We'll see you next time.